Hello everyone, sorry for the delay, welcome to Hearts Blazing. Wow, actually, welcome to Conqueror of the Eternals. This is the first relatively large-scale invitational event that we're hosting. To give you the quick rundown, it's a 16-man invitational tournament. We're going to be having, the best character representative available in Europe for every character, representing, one of each for every one of the 16 characters in the game. There's a lot of money on the line, and it should be great because, obviously, putting all of the best players in a continent together and having them bash it out for money, that should be hype as hell. I'm joined today with Sodium Jim, if you'd like to introduce himself for commentary.
Hey, thank you very much, my man. And thank you in advance already for putting on... I already know this is going to be an amazing event. So thank you very much in advance for putting on a show. You can just smell it. It's a bloodbath. I mean, if you guys look at the challenge, all the first round matches are grand finals of a tournament, so...
Oh, yeah.
we're in there, man. We're straight in there.
So, we're going to be starting off with Rixta versus Padu, which, speaking of... That is a definite Grand Finals matchup that I think everyone who watches European Grand Blue has seen numerous times at this point.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I think the last one that we watched together, it was Padu versus Rixta in the Grand Finals, so...
That would make sense. That sounds about right.
The fact that it's literally, like, as I said, guys, this is your first... This isn't even the second round. This is the first round of matches, and we've already got Padu Rixta.
See, the thing is that it was a shame. We had to cut certain matches because otherwise the stream would go on for like 7 hours. But every single match in this bracket is going to be absolutely hype, so it was painful cutting each and every one of them. But Rixta versus Padu lately has actually been going in the favor of Padu pretty heavily. Every time that we've seen them clash in the bracket, Rixta's been sent down into losers or, lost Grand Finals. But it's always close.
Yeah, and the amount that these guys play, it's only a matter of time before the other guy gets the upper hand again, maybe smells the trade that the other guy's doing, so...
They both know each other so well that it's less to do with the characters at them, themselves as it is the players and their understanding of each other's tendencies, yeah. Especially because both of these characters have relatively good tools for dealing with one another.
Mm-hmm. But,
I mean, we can see Matera literally like one-shot Ferry from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's funny because both characters play, are supposed to, in inverted commas, play from range, but they both have super explosive damage as well, so...
Yeah, I mean, Ferry definitely favors range more than a lot of the other characters. Like, for example, Matera has really good aggressive, close range aggressive pressure, whereas Ferry... Well, there we go, never mind. This is the one situation where Ferry has ridiculous up-close pressure as well, which turns on the anime mix-ups. Oh, wow, beautiful. What a brilliant... Yeah, TK arrow into the loops, goes for the low. Doesn't end up getting anything. Blocks the high, but gets hit by the frame trap, damn.
Wasn't able to convert. Wow, preemptive anti-air worked.
Yeah, good up arrow.
Now pressuring in the corner. Oh, nice confirm.
Nice. Great frame trap coming up from Padu. And a solid first round.
Man, Padu's confirms are... You just know that he's got the knowledge.
I mean, yeah, if I had faith to put, for anyone to sit around labbing a character and just discover stuff, it's Padu for sure. Like, I was getting into Melty recently. I was trying to learn a combo that's taken me about a week, but then asked him to try. Did it in 20 minutes.
There's
no prior experience
like
with the
character. X has a problem with a combo, Padu does it in 2 goes. Like,
I mean, but right now we're seeing Rixta really putting on the gas, right? And it just shows that regardless of how much we can sing Padu's praises, Rixta's no joke either. Rixta has arguably been the most solid player in Europe for the longest amount of time, in my opinion. Getting chipped out, though, evening it up. Like, if I had to seed one player based on the entirety of all of the events that I've seen so far, it would be Rixta #1 every time. But recently, there have been a fair few people contending his title. We had the era of Venom giving everyone trouble, and then we have the era of Padu giving people trouble now, so...
See, that's the beautiful thing about this game, though, is, I'm sure we've said it 1,000 times on commentary between us, but the skill level at the top is... Everybody's so hungry. I mean, like you said, there's a big prize pool tonight, but every single week these guys are coming out just to slaughter each other for our amusement, so...
Oh, brilliant to you. Getting hit by the EXCP though, get off me. Now the ball's completely in Rixta's court. He has, if he can get an opportunity to get off the install, that is going to be in a world of hurt.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, another up dog.
His reaction
in that corner.
Oh, yeah, his reactions on those hops.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Rixta's reaction times, we've said it 100 times in the past as well. are so phenomenal that it looks like he's reacting to very unreactable situations. It's just more that he knows what to look for, and he's like, you know, he's got that hair trigger ready. Oh, Rickster taking the first match.
Believe in victory. Battle.
Yeah, he did a good job as well because he sort of slipped through his fingers that first round, but then he touched it out in the next two. Oh, had it with the pressure.
Nice. Gets hit by the second overhead, and now he's in the corner. He's going to be eating these loops. But with no butterfly up, the setup isn't... Oh, no, never mind. Damn.
Nice setup.
That was a nice little setup.
I don't think I've
Butterfly
ever seen him
cooldown
do
literally came up. Yeah, right at the end. Because Padu, historically, has used easy input, Butterfly, quite a lot, which alters her roots and if they're loopable or not.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So I'm not sure if he adapted there to make that combo loopable, or... But yeah, that is something to mention about a gap in his Matera play, is he does easy input quite a lot. Right there, that was a regular input, you can see, because of the obligatory teabagging in neutral. It's not BM, boys. Both of these characters be, you know, teabag in neutral, but it isn't BM. Is that a hit confirmed? Nah, I didn't think so.
Wow.
Yeah, because Padu was in the air at the time, it made it so that there was a juggle. But Padu, even getting himself around, threatening to even this match back up. And that one was really convincing from Padu, I feel.
Yeah, but Rix has gone for exactly the same start of the round every single round, and it seems to be almost 50-50 if it hits or not. And
yeah, I mean, Perry has brilliant round start options, right, up against most of the cast, because her mid-range buttons are some of the best in the game. But she usually commits to them because a lot of them are like very low drawback, especially against a character like Matera who can't just DP at round start, doesn't have access to super until she's got full meter, you know?
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice! What a brilliant anti-air. EXDP's down, but he, you know, is still commanding that airspace with one of the more unwieldy anti-airs in the game. But distances like that, where they're in front of you, this will anti-air really, really effectively with Fairy 2H. Oh, nice. That was it, yeah.
Rix does, what, 4 for 4 with Dragon Punches at the moment?
I mean, yeah, I believe so, actually, now that I think about it. And whilst the DP was down, he got a 2H as well, so I'm counting that.
Yeah, I mean, he's just... this is what we were saying at the start. These guys are playing each other. When you see them do like an instant overhead or an anti-air in a place where you wouldn't usually, it's because they've played each other 1,000 times.
That's why you use block button, boys. I wouldn't have blocked that. I would have gotten hit every time. That random cross under was mad. Gets hit by the overhead, doesn't get the DP in time. You saw him going for it, and now he's in the loops. It shouldn't be dead, though. Goes for the setup instead of using super.
Still has DP. Oh, good use.
Yeah, and this is why it's a good idea for him to keep super, because now he can threaten using a reversal, but getting dragged in. There you go. This is what I was talking about. This is going to connect. Now blocked and punished. That's dead. Rickster, moving on. Knocking Padu into the losers.
And Rickster, as you said before, Padu was beating Rickster a lot, but...
Yeah, I mean, I knew that he had some uncertainty going into this event about how well he was going to do, but Rickster
was ready.
Commanding victory. 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about these super high-level matches as well is, it was commanding, and it was 2-0, but the speed at which that match was played was so fast. I mean, the rounds that Padu won, and then the speed of the adaptation that Rickster had to make, this is how you know we're watching super-duper high-level stuff. Because 2-0 was almost not... what's the word? It doesn't really reflect how well Padu played there, but it was convincing to Rickster, and it was 2-0, so...
Yeah,
and that was the first match.
These matches can be over in an absolute, you know, a single moment. Because both of these characters have 9,500 HP, right? The lowest in the game. And Matera doesn't have access to the best defensive options, but neither does Ferry, because when you're up close against Ferry, she doesn't have very good barrier buttons. That's minimalized a little bit against Matera, because Matera similarly has slower buttons. For example, they have slower close lights than most characters and stuff like that. But, with that said, we've seen in the past how, you know, Padu can just win a neutral interaction once, and then that round is over for Rickster. But Rickster really didn't give him that much of a inch, and his DPs were so on point. That was really what decided that match, right? Is that, in reality, those are RPS situations, but Rickster has such a great read and adapts so quickly to the people he plays against. Like, ignoring the fact that he's playing against Padu, who, you know, he plays against with constantly, he adapts incredibly quickly to anyone that he plays against, and that is one of the things in my head that separates him from a lot of other brilliant players.
Yeah, I mean, he's been grinding this game out. As you said, and I completely agree with you. If you were to look at, like, since the game's release, in terms of absolute top-tier consistency, Richter is definitely at the absolute top. Like you said, everybody's sort of had their time in the sun, but Richter is usually... So when Venom was at the top, it was Venom versus Richter. When Padu's at the top, it's Padu versus Richter, you know? He might not be at the very top, but he's always very, very close, so... Showing you why in that first round. And now, we have a very interesting match.
Yeah, Hiyari versus Lord Venom. Now, when I think of a villain of the FGC or the Grand Blue community, we'll go with the Grand Blue community, it doesn't take me more than a second to think Lord Venom. And then when I think of, you know, a nice guy, I think of Hiyari. So this is going to be a battle of good versus evil, honestly, both in their character picks and their personalities.
And this is the first time I've ever seen a high-level Zui as well. Like, super high level.
I've seen a fair few, but Hiyari is definitely the best that I've ever seen. Like, you watch him playing his stream, and I've just wanted to get him into tournaments ever since. He played a little, I believe, in the Gibbs team tournament. But other than that, I haven't seen him in many online events, so you know I had to try and get him in.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do, bro. You get all the best, and you make them fight to the death for our amusement.
Yeah, right? That's how it works. But getting into this matchup's going to be really interesting, because Bubs is hailed as a character that has all the tools in the game, but they're not the most effective. Whereas Zoe, she's definitely missing a few tools in her toolkit. But the tools that she does have are incredibly sharp. Especially against a character like Bubs with the 11 frame DPs. She can really put you in a world of hurt.
She's arguably the strongest. I mean, there's not a lot to say facts in this game, but Zui with the dragon, we see. Oh, wow, what a setup.
Yeah, showing you why you have to use the block button, you know? If there are characters that will randomly teach you to use the block button, it's not even Lancelot and characters like that, you know, the typical ones that people say. For me, it's Zoe and now Maya. Those are the ones that teach me that I have to use the block button.
With those side switches.
Yeah. But another thing that's really a pretty interesting thing to think about in this matchup is that right there we're seeing Black Hole at that distance. There isn't much that Zoe can do about it, other than, you know, the normal stuff like forward rolling with perfect timing or using super for the deep reversal. Punishing the teleport. Well, first off, that was a disrespectful teleport, right? He was looking to punish Yari going for something high committal, but whiffing it with the teleport, but instantly just gets thrown. That was a pretty cool call out. But yeah, something to think about is the fact that this character, Bubs, is really known for his jumps. Right there, we're seeing the EX dive kick commanding plus frames, you know? And he can basically just jump and float in the air, and people have to guess because they can't do much against him. Whereas Zoe, she also has a brilliant jump, having access to some really great jump buttons like JU, and also like Air Lightning.
Oh wow, punish the start up of the teleport.
Oh wow, getting low. Doesn't get a full conversion, but still. There you go, we saw that right there. She also has something similar to dive kick. They don't act in the same way, but she can super jump and use lightning to just cleanly take Venom out of the air in a lot of situations. But yeah, it's gonna get Genki damaged, yeah.
Yeah, because as we're still gonna get putting in the air, get blasted into the sky. Oh, not dead though.
Yeah, wow, I expected that to be dead for sure, but Bob's low damage coming in. You're at chip point though, so you really have to be careful. You can't even take a single special at this point.
Zui's SSBA is super strong. Armageddon super fast, takes up a lot of the screen.
Nah, so. It's actually pretty slow. Oh wow, that's dead. Wow, what a pickup with the dragon behind him. Yeah, taking that one out.
That was really sneaky because the dragon was off the screen when the lightning came out. So I don't think Venom expected it to be attacking him. And
yeah, I believe there's cross-up protection, but because obviously Venom was trying to move forwards there, just clips him. And Hiyari, with the awareness, manages to confirm with it. Not an easy feat.
Oh wow, what whiff punish.
Nice. Just going for solid pressure here. Venom sitting there respecting it, not throwing out a DP that we can full punish, but yeah. Whiff throw is going to get punished. Wow, see that? The DP coming up so slowly. Oh, so brilliant.
Activate in time.
Yeah, that dive kick is phenomenal for Hiyari to deal with Beelzebub's medium and heavy projectiles. Because it goes at an arc if you're at the right distance to just cleanly go over it and then sweep down and punish. Obviously, full screen isn't quite the distance that you want, and Venom doing, wow, getting the setup. Right, going for it again. Fun fact, it's only a melee setup if they elect to back roll, I believe. If you second place, it leaves Venom minus after the teleport.
Ouch. Venom
But regardless, yeah. And the SSBA off again. Yeah, Zoe's SSBA, you said earlier that it's fast. It's actually really slow, but the brilliant thing about it is that it's full invuln, and if they manage to block it, it's not as minus as you would think because it has so much block stun, but man, the second someone uses forward roll or spot dodge, you can get like jump in punish when you use it because it has so much recovery.
Oh, I don't think we're going to see it though.
Yeah, well, we're getting the Gamma Ray this time, but it's not going to kill. Let's see if Venom can do a similar steal. We saw it coming out from Hiyari last time. Oh, good protect. Uses the dive kick to get behind him. Isn't using the block button to get hit by the 5 heavy starter. This Genki Dama's going to hurt.
Yeah, this is going to do a ton of damage, I think. Yeah, Hiyari's still with the life lead though.
Yeah, for sure, but the pressure's still in his court. Going for the safe jump.
Go plus frames.
Good pressure, but yeah, 2M.
What a challenge.
You don't gotta respect that black hole, man. Lord Venom being sent into loser's bracket. If we told you that you'd see a tournament today where in round 1, Lord Venom and Padu, would have been put into loser's bracket on stream, you wouldn't have believed it.
Dang. That Zooey was devastating though.
Yeah, honestly, this is what I mean. We needed to get Hiyari in here.
Hiyari definitely has a fan in me now. Because like I said, I've fought a bunch of Zooeys, but I've never seen, like, obviously this is like the absolute top tier. I've never seen an absolute top tier level Zooey, and those setups. But that is one thing that is, I mean, you brought it up in the game as well. Maybe it's just a habit thing, because as I've said a bunch of times, because I play Mortal Kombat, I'm used to having a block button, but just be ready with that block button, guys. It doesn't cost anything to use, and it protects you from those sorts of shenanigans, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done kind of situation, if you know what I mean. And it's not like the block button is obligatory, such as in other titles like Soul Gal and Mortal Kombat. But, man, it'll save you in situations like that a lot.
Yeah, 100%. But that's what I mean. That's why it is such a vital tool. I guess it's just getting used to it.
There are some lesser known advantages to using guard button as well, because when you use the guard button, it actually extends your block hitbox, hurtbox button, out further. So as a result of that, moves that would be able to hit on earlier active frames actually lose some frame advantage. So let's say Grand Boot, for example, it effectively hit you sooner, so that means that they're more minus after Grand Boot if you use the guard button.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's minimal. Like, you'll maybe gain a frame's worth of advantage or 2 at most, but it can make all the difference.
Yeah, and that's and especially in a game like Grand Blue, especially when you've got plus frames.
Yeah, it's a game of inches. It's a game of inches, but the second you get a hit, you're taking a mile. Get a single touch, they lose 50% of their health. Why not?
Yeah, and a character that does that super well is Percival. I love watching Enoch play, man.
Oh yeah, we've got Enoch coming in. Percival, being hailed as the strongest character in the game this batch by many. Once he gets you into his range, you're not getting out. You're going to eat those far mediums and heavies into special cancels all day. And if you try and get out, he might just take 50% of your health. You know? Give you a little love tap for the trouble.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of... It definitely... if you got that matchup knowledge, he's terrifying in the corner with those confirms from medium and heavy into light projectile, just looping on block. And if you don't have a way of get out of it, it's super impressive. But Miri
the thing is
no snap.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that situation is that Zeta has stance, which helps her to get out of that situation better than other characters. And historically, this was actually a pool matchup for Percival back in the day, back when Zeta was considered bottom tier, you know. And Percival was considered not the best either. This was considered one of the few favourite matchups that Zeta had, because she has great tools in the mid-range, which, you know, is technically where Percival wants to be, right? Within his far medium and his far heavy range. But Zeta has some great buttons that are faster, that have just as much range, that she can confirm into Spear. Wow, brilliant use of jumping medium Spear. And as a result of that, she could also use Laser, right? To make it so that you could never sit comfortably, getting stocks full screen. So, but as the match patches have changed, Zeta actually kind of struggles to deal with this matchup now. Percival's jumps are so good with his JU, and his control of neutral is also so good. And the second you get put into the blender, which is about to happen now,
Yeah, what confirm?
you can feel almost all but over. Brilliant confirm off of the far medium. Enoch taking the first round. But yeah, this matchup's still very doable for Zeta. Like, I honestly feel that there aren't many matchups worse than 6-4 in this game. But if Zeta can get her game plan going, she can make any matchup feel like a 7-3 matchup. The second she touches you and she puts you into low pogo, yet all of a sudden it's a guessing game that's entirely in Zeta's favor. And all it takes is one touch, speaking of. Straight into the low pogo, goes double overhead, gets the throw. Yeah. Straight into the corner, goes empty low this time. And again, Zeta still has really good mid-range pressure. Ends up dropping it there, but this is Sans. Heavy to get out, but Enoch doesn't punish that. That's very easily punishable with DP or too heavy.
Oh wow, what a confirm.
Taking the reset, and this time using the stance heavy to get out of the corner. Gets a 2-hit. Wow, nice. Good confirm. Taking Enoch to the corner, and this is the Miri classic. Miri's a very patient player. He played Venom, weirdly, in Guilty Gear. So, you know, he's just going to be comfortable sitting there, waiting for someone to stick out a button they can punish. But Enoch's a stickler for that too. With some of the best whiff punishing buttons in the game, and Enoch's ability to use them, it's not easy, man.
I think Inek's jump-ins in that match were just so good. Every single jump-in was almost like psychic. He jumped over and whiff punished a button.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that you can do, though, against... Like, for example, you do have relatively good anti-air reward as Zeta, but your anti-air is still relatively slow, even after all the buffs that she's received. And Percival has such a huge threat with the JU. Like, there, whiffs, but if that hit, he would have been plus, you know? So, it's really hard to deal with. Zeta, similarly, can alter her air movement, but her jump-ins aren't quite as good as Percival's are. The angles that they hit at aren't quite as good. But, for example, with Zeta, you actually get a fuzzy setup off of her JH if you have Meter. We'll jump in, but this is not looking good. Ooh.
No, we saw it again. Just jumped straight over. The first time Miri throws a fireball, Inek just leaps straight over and gets full confirmed.
Miri's been doing a phenomenal job, and that should be dead. Going straight into super. There you go. Miri's finally picking himself in the round forward. What happened there was really interesting, right? Because he got a little bit of a scrambly hit whilst he saw Enoch doing a little shimmy. He got a Firelight confirmed, and then he took, like I said before, you get one touch of Zeta. It took him all the way to the other side of the map, you know?
Yeah, just coast
couple of scrambles, now you're in the corner, and then you lose the round. There you go, you can see Miri just scrambling, trying to get out of this pressure, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is
go
exactly
for the optimal route, let's go!
Yeah, this is
going to
exactly
do much
what I'm
damage,
saying.
scaling, man. Oh, wow! Using the stats heavy to get out of the corner. Drops the combo, low pogo, goes double overhead and gets mashed out, it's still living. Yeah! One more touch and he's dead, though. And there you go, there's the spear. This matchup has grown increasingly hard because Percival has had more and more access to his fireballs sequences over the, all of the latest matches. And now Zeta really struggles to deal with that situation. Because a lot of her stance stuff loses to it. But there you go, that's one of the best options. Going for that jump and then doing the 50-50 on if you do dive or not.
Oh, nice challenge. What a punish. Oh, that's the first time that Inek hasn't got the confirm after jumping over a Zeta laser. He's been so good with those jump-ins.
That's the thing as well. It's so scary going for projectiles as Zeta because the recovery on it is so huge. And Percival with these huge buttons like the fire heavy and the jumping heavy, he'll make mincemeat of you. Is that going to be it? That should be it.
Yeah.
Oh, whiffed! Damn, the juggle went a little bit too high. Maybe the super activation was too slow. Doesn't matter regardless. We're going straight into the final increments of his health. This could be it. This could be the comeback. Going low pogo, goes double overhead. It happens every time. Gets hit by the 2M. Doesn't die, and then, yeah, JH too early. And dies as a result. Enoch.
Was that a trip guard? It must have been.
A failed super input, to be honest. He could have tried to super, like jump and then do super to punish the 2H. But regardless, Miri being sent down into losers bracket, an incredibly convincing round coming out from Enoch.
Yeah, I mean, all three matches we've had on stream have been super high level, but they've been pretty darn convincing.
Yeah, I mean, that's Grand Blue in a nutshell, right? There's so much of an even playing field where you put two brilliant players against one another, and because they're so, basically the one who gets the read on the matchup earliest just completely runs away with it. Because you get one hit in this game, that's 50% of your life gone.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you get a counter hit or something like that, which we haven't seen. Actually, we haven't seen many counter hit overheads or anti-air combos. It's all just been really, really smart reads.
We saw a couple of anti-airs, but not many of them resulted in anything. I mean, a part of that is because the first match was Ferry against Matera, who don't have the best anti-air conversions, apart from Matera in certain situations
loops,
where she can get the loops here.
But now Kingston.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is one that you should be looking forward to, right?
I'm so excited for this match. I can't even tell you. Because I've not actually ever seen Kingston play Soritz. Every time I'm commentating, he plays Lancelot.
Oh, damn, they're going right into it. Alright. Ladiva against Soris. The two buff brawlers of the game.
Oh, man. This is just going to be two people punching each other in the face.
I mean, one of them's going to be flinging them around, like, as if they weigh nothing, and the other one's going to be punching into them. Like, here we go. Nice! There we go. We saw it. The punch straight into the SPD. Both players, wow. Just walks up slowly, jumps at him. That's the SPD. Goes for a safe jump. Yeah, there you go. Kingston finding his way out, but nice conversion into the 2U. Now you're in the middle blender again. This time, tries to jump, gets hit by the mash, and you're dead. That's the Ladiva round, boys. You get thrown 3 times and you're dead.
Yeah, that is you said it. That is a Ladiva round. Oh, you guessed wrong, did you? That's 50%.
No, I mean, you guessed wrong. That's an SPD. Oh, now you have to get put into the exact same situation. Oh, nice. Great confirm. No, drops it, never mind. But runs up against the SPD. If anyone's going to win a scramble, it's going to be Ladiva. Now, for those of you that don't know, we were going to have Fairy Fighter on today, but he was having net problems. But Gumius has been rising so hard through events lately that it's kind of a pleasure that we get to have him on. Oh, just to get the full confirm, could have converted into super and that would have been dead. Nice, good anti-air. This is what Gumius is known for, right? Gumius is known for having brilliant anti-air. Never lets a jump go unchecked. But now you're in the corner. As Ladiva, nah, mind. Gets the stanky leg. 2M's his way.
Wake up, crouch, light.
Yeah, we saw Kingston's starting to bring it back there, though. So we can see if Kingston's finally getting, starting to get a little bit of a bearing on this matchup.
Yeah, I think this is one of Ladiva's better matchups as well, because characters in this game that have some sort of invincible reversal, it's hard to assert yourself with that SPD pressure, but Soritz doesn't really have anything that he can do to stop. Oh,
nice,
as you said, another nice anti-air.
Nice! Jumping too early and getting punished for it. Ladiva just running you down.
Yeah, didn't have the clothesline finish combo.
Oh, this is bad. You're gonna get punished for this one. Oh, never mind. This is a swap dodge, yeah, so it doesn't gain as much of frame advantage, and now you're dead. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, that was a massive mistake there from Kingston. Maybe he wasn't expecting it? I don't know.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't have expected it to not go off, but that is a perfect example of why even when Soris has meter, his reversal's one of the worst in the game. His SBA, is really bad, and his SSBA just doesn't work as a reversal tool.
No.
So this character, once you've got him in your blender, he's really, really in it. Oh, punishing the shimmy and then gets the SPD. Now you're in the blender again, gets the jump, and that should be dead. Never mind, I don't think you optimized enough. But the damage, man. Let's go. Kingston putting himself back on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like it was going to go downhill fast, but Kingston with the clutch managed to hold on. Oh, plus frames. Guard crush.
Actually, the first overhead. I think the first time we've seen that button used in the past couple games. Oh, is this dead? Is he going to build enough meter? Oh, no. Combo limited.
Yeah, I was going to say, he should have gone straight for the anti-air grab ender, but
doesn't matter anyway. He's showing us all why he's making such a splash over the past few weeks.
Pun intended?
I mean, yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
And, I mean, look, I know Kingston is an absolute top-level player, right? And we've seen him week in, week out at the absolute peak of this game's life cycle, but just Soritz, man.
Oh, we've got some good matches coming.
I just don't know. Soritz just... even when he was winning, he didn't seem like every single time. I mean, maybe it was just a matchup thing because he was just getting hit by wake up buttons. Gumius was waking up with buttons every single time, but you never just feel like you're winning with Soritz.
Yeah, the thing is that, for example, with Ladiva, right, she gets her touch, and then she puts you into the same messed up situation over and over and over again. Whereas with Soros, it's really hard for him to do that, unless he has a lot of resources, like he can spend super to get a knockdown, or he has you in the corner, which in itself is a resource, so he can do 63M loops, right? Those are the only situations where he really has very loopable, effective Oki, and it really hurts him, because the character, the whole point of him is that he's missing fireballs, he's missing a reversal, so he's missing some things in his kit to make up for the fact that he has these swift punches, and once he's in, he should fundamentally stay in. But his pressure pushes them away, and after he gets a hit, it pushes them away, and puts you back to neutral, which is naturally disadvantageous for Soris, because of, you know, his toolkit versus the toolkits of the other characters in the cast, so it's a bit of a design flaw. I'm not a fan.
No, I mean, he's a super cool character design-wise, and aesthetically, he's mad, but yeah, just, I'm not entirely sure what they were going for with him, but, you know, Kingston is not out. Maybe we'll see him qualify through loser's side, top 8, and put on another show. But for now, speaking of putting on a show, we've got Deviants, the man.
Yeah, see, I'm going to be honest, have you ever seen Skill play before?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Skill is a player who is known for his Narmaya, and I believe had picked up Soris. But obviously, then I asked him to play Narmaya because I need some Narmayas, man. But,
who'd have thought he had too many Soritzes?
I know that a lot of people regard Skill as a brilliant player. He's apparently very famous in Soul Calibur, and everyone that I talk to about Skill is like, damn, he's going to take names. A lot of people that I was speaking to about the bracket were predicting Skill to do very well. But he's up against Deviants, my boy, the lone trooper representing Catalina, you know?
Yeah, no, he's been doing work with Catalina as well. Oh, wow, what an anti-air.
Similar to Gumius, he's only turned up recently, but making an absolute killing. Turning up, you know, top 3, top 4, every single event. Not taking any, to my knowledge, but Skill taking complete control of this round nice and early on. We saw a beautiful combo in the corner.
Yeah, that combo was 50%.
That's the thing, we usually see Narmaya players, but if we see them, none of them are truly utilizing the character that well. Like, because the character has a lot of room for optimizations, both in neutral, combos, pressure, all of this stuff, right? But you don't tend to see it a lot, but we're seeing such an interesting neutral structure coming out from Skill so far. Lots of, like, forward dash, back dash, forward roll in neutral. He did an anti-air with close heavy just a moment ago. It's beautiful stuff. I've never seen an Narmaya play like this before.
No, I mean, arguably the character with the highest execution barrier in the games. If you're pulling off stuff like that, it shows you that he's got lots of character knowledge. I
feel like people overrate it a little bit because the hardest character in this game is still, like, Paint compared to other games.
Oh, yeah, but 100%, definitely, yeah.
I just don't want people to be dissuaded from playing Narmaya because she's definitely... You got to put in a bit of work compared to the other characters in the game, but she's definitely worth it. And you could definitely make her work. But in matchups like Catalina, brilliant DP, not let him get away with the moonsault again. That's another thing that Deviants is really known for at this point. He has a hair trigger with those DPs.
Oh,
as you see there, you know? Like, it really results in it going one, but, you know, it's the bane of his existence or it's the boon of his existence, you know? It's either it's working and he's a god, or it's not working and it's, you know, not so great. But you're seeing right there, he still has no fear. Got punished twice in a row, goes for it again. Oh, and gets the universal overhead, that's dead. No, never mind, doesn't optimize completely. That probably wouldn't have been dead regardless, but one more touch is going to do it. You're in a mix-up. Is it going to be low? Is it going to be overhead? Is it going to be throw? What do you think? What are you calling?
I think he's going to do dash up throw.
You're right. You're at chip point now. So, yeah, there you go. Wow. All Deviants has to do is step back.
I mean,
retain that health advantage, retain that positional advantage, and wait for Skill to hang himself.
That went downhill for Skill so fast. He had such a commanding lead, but...
I mean, that's Catalina. It's a Catalina round. You get one DP, you get one more hit, that takes him to the corner. Good chance they're dead.
Yeah, I mean...
Brilliant anti-airs with the, one sec, there's this A-stance, like, anti-airs. They're all close heavies. from the part of skill, which I haven't seen before. I'm not sure if that's like an actual thing that Narmayas do, but skill's making it look incredibly good.
Another DP.
And there, gets hit by the 2N.
Yeah, you said it yourself as well. Deviants did a really good job there not to be conditioned to not Dragon Punch. I mean, he got punished so hard twice.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about the actual percentage of DPs that have went well and poorly, it's definitely going on the poor side right now. But with Catalina, it only takes the one. Beautiful confirm from the counter hit. M's right there. Yeah, and again, instead of going in and putting yourself in an RPS situation where skill can escape, he's just standing there, standing his ground, keeping the positional advantage, waiting for skill to do something that he can punish.
Now we're seeing full pressure from skill.
Yeah, again, skill just keeping the positional advantage, but this time, he's the one who makes the whip movement, gets hit by the 2M. The mirror of the last round.
And this is match point to Deviants.
Yeah, it is. Oh, nice. The jump, like the neutral jumps to punish Deviants have been brilliant so far. And the interesting thing about Narmaya, right, is that she has a lot of the tools of a Shoto. She has a projectile type move. She has a DP, and etc, etc, etc. But she also has, like, very similar movement to Charlotta with a very fast run startup, very fast walk speed, great jump arcs, and, you know, a nice quick perfect coming in, yeah. That's another thing Narmayas have, apparently. The first perfect of the tournament. I wonder how many more we're going to get. And yeah, that was more than a strong round, Sweppy. That was an absolute...
Decimation.
Yeah, decimation. It only took like 2 hits, and keep on DPing, it's going to keep on giving you the hits. I will say that one thing about Narmaya as well is that I can guarantee that next to nobody in Europe has matchup experience against good Narmaya players.
No.
Like, that's a guaranteed not going to happen.
Wow, that was
ooh, going into B stats, now going back into A stats. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This character's pressure is not bad. She has brilliant walk speed, brilliant run startup. It's very similar to characters like Gran and Charlotta, you know? But people sleep on that. Because her range... Yeah, her buttons are a little bit more stubby than others, right? And she has the same situation as Lance, where her far light is actually her close light as well. So that has positives and negatives. Oh, that's dead. Oh, never mind.
Oh no, didn't quite have the bar at the end of the combo, but still gets a 2M confirm into fireball.
And now we're back to match point. And this is a complete match point actually, because whoever takes this round wins.
Man, the speed that this game is being played at, this is insane.
Hey man, this is 11. That's the 3 boys. Oh, almost gets the 2M confirm off of the anti-air counter hit there, but falls just short. Nice, good DP. Oh, wow. Deviants is not going to be deterred, man.
Oh, wow.
Skill responding in kind, though. Good hit. Wow, that was a nice confirm off of fire hit. Ooh, just out of range for the 2U. Yeah, Deviant saying, stay out of my box.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he really is just commanding right now. Oh, but there you go. Get super, and that's going to be a knockdown. What's the setup? Just run up, goes to the universal overhead, gets jabbed out by 2L. I believe that was probably an OS.
Oh, plus frames.
Yeah, the moonsault's plus frames.
Dragon Punch.
Waiting for that DP. Got to take your turn back. I'd love to see Deviants just throw skill, but again, the anti-air. We're talking about how brilliant skills neutral jumps were to bait out the droids earlier, right? But if there's one thing that Deviants is also known for, similarly to Vrixter, he adapts incredibly quickly. He used to have a kind of one-note game plan, but that's what he's been working on over the past few weeks, and now he has pretty much an answer for every situation, and he is ready to check himself and adapt to the opponent's play. But regardless, yeah, I mean, that was a phenomenal match, man.
That was an amazing match.
That's the 2 seconds, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing, as you said with Demons, the last few times I've seen him play, he plays very, very aggressively. Usually it ends up with him getting the other guy in the corner, and then it's just the strike or throw. Like, what are you gonna bait? He did it to Skill a couple of times in that last game. You know, he goes to throw, then gets the counter hit overhead into 50%. But yeah, you're right. He definitely put on the brakes a little bit there and
was looking for those neutral jumps, yeah.
Yeah.
And you should have noticed, well, I noticed, for example, that in the latter half of the set, he went from getting a lot of droid hits into getting almost exclusively all of his damage from anti-airs.
Believe in victory.
Yeah, and that's the mind game, isn't it? Eventually you crack, and he was just looking for the cracks.
Now, we all know Hiyari, right? But for those of you that don't know Rao, Rao is a phenomenal Grand player. At the start of the European, play for Grand Blue, he was at the top. He was the king. And then the only real reason that fell off is because he didn't play as much. A lot of people consider Rao to be the favourite to win this tournament. He's a Japanese player, and he's a phenomenal player playing Gran. And, a phenomenal player playing a phenomenal character, that's a recipe for disaster.
And he was definitely...
2M. Into the DP, crosscut DP, it's good as well.
He was definitely way up there in terms of what Gran... I mean, even though he was... Everybody had in their idea what was a Gran... How a Gran was supposed to play, but... Rao was definitely ahead of the curve in terms of tech and execution at the early stages of the game anyway.
I mean, now he's showing you exactly what he likes to do. He's a patient Grand player. You don't see it very often, but he's just incredibly patient. He gets DPs on lock. There you go, that should be dead. Oh, never mind, there's a convert into super. That was probably a super input that gave Fireball.
Yeah.
But regardless, Rao taking the first round. But he's known for being incredibly patient, and with a character like Gran, whilst he has brilliant up-close pressure, there is not a single button in the game that is as terrifying as Gran 5U at that mid-range, with your back to the corner. You get hit by 5U, you're taking 60% damage, loopable.
Oh wow, nice Tiger Knee Lightning Blast.
Yeah, so that's one thing that she does have that's really interesting. Obviously, your jumps aren't as committal as other characters, but jumping against Gran is a bad idea because it ends with you in the corner, misses the melee setup with the 5U, and he's going to be punished for it. Nice. Just respecting the pressure. And there you go. Resetting with 2L, 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 2L. Why not? Into the corner, and that's your life.
That's nerfed, by the way. Lol, 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 lol.
Hey, man. It unironically is. It used to be worse. But, Rao taking the first match. Yeah, a bit of a loading screen. Good on there. You hate to see it, Sweppy. Well, let's hope that wasn't, a big problem.
Maybe he just wanted to reset. Maybe there was a bit of lag, and
I mean, luckily the match ended right as the round ended, so I don't have to give away any buys.
Unless Rao thought that was 2.
Yeah, unless Rao thought that was 2. Check the chat.
Yeah, I mean we're all still in the room, so it must have just been.
No worries. Rao just froze, so he's coming back.
He booted him so hard his computer froze.
Yeah, I mean that happens, You
You
get a counter hit with Gran, and then your PC blows up as a direct result. They can't handle the 70% damage that's about to come their way.
Yeah, that was a very strong first game from Rao as well. I mean, we saw Hiyari dominate Venom with those setups in that first game we saw of Hiyari on stream, but Rao just doing a much better job of dealing with them. Maybe he's had more matchup experience, or maybe he's just playing it a bit more patiently.
The thing is that we were talking earlier about the fact that Bubs is a character that has a full toolkit, but a lot of his tools are middling. Gran is the complete opposite. He has a full toolkit, and every single one of his tools is the best tool in the game. He has the best frame data in the game, he has great reward on anti-air, on counter hit, on regular hit, he has great corner carry, he has a great fireball game, he has a great DP, Beetleless as well. This character is nuts, and a character that's missing certain elements in their kit, like Zoe for example, these are the characters that tend to do well against other characters that have lacking elements. A character with a very complete game plan, such as Gran, will give a character like Zoe a huge world of pain, because the only thing that Zoe can really do against a character like that is outplay in neutral, and then outplay on offense and defense.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a couple of times in the first round where Hiyari was able to mount a bit of offense, where he was doing a couple of frame traps, and Rao was pressing Rao pressed when he shouldn't have. But again, the speed of adaptation. And as you said, you can only get Gran to fall for that stuff so often, right? With the tools that he has, you think he's going to get... You're like, oh, wow, I'm really asserting myself with these frame traps. Eventually, it doesn't matter who they are, they're going to Dragon Punch you. So it's just one of those things.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, Rao taking that first game. Let's have a look at the rest. Actually, this is the perfect time as well. Shout out the Matcherino
Oh yeah, of course. Why not? Right, so
Well,
let's
we're
go
having a
ahead
little break.
and go on to matcherino.com /T/HAB Now, this is the Matcherino. If you guys could drop the code HABCOTE in chat, you can donate. Wow, that's gone up a ton since I last saw it. If you could drop the code HABCOTE, it'll add 50 cents to the prize pool. The
For
way that we're
free?
currently running it, yeah, for free, at no cost to yourself, just a couple of seconds, you can be putting money directly into one of the European players' pockets, you know? The way that we're running it at the moment is first place will get £20 along with the rest of the crown fund, and then second place is going to get £20 as well, and third place is going to get £10. So at the moment, it's looking like first place is going to get around about the equivalent of 120 quid, if not more, 125-ish. So shout out to absolutely everyone who's used the codes. And you could as well. You're coming in sweet, taking out a bunch of people with your donation. That's really appreciated, man.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, as Benji just said, it doesn't cost you anything. You can just log in,
use the code,
use
follow
the
on
code.
Twitter.
Yeah, and that's it. Done. And then you've just donated to the prize pool. You've donated to the players for doing their best to entertain you, and you're helping Benji out, and he's putting on a show for you people. So yeah, help him
I
out.
mean, I've been loving it. It's not really a chore to me because
Yeah,
I've just got to have such a great time with the Grand Blue community. Grand Blue's slowed down a little bit recently, but as a result, the weekly series is going to be going on a little bit of hiatus. But stay tuned because it's only going on a hiatus to prepare for something that I'm pretty excited to announce in the near future.
Ooh. I think, funnily enough, which is only testament to how fun and how many people were playing it, I think there was a slight amount of oversaturation for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah,
I think
for
there
sure.
was one tournament every single day.
No, there was more than that. I think there was 8 in 1 week. I think it was 9 in 1 week in terms of regularly scheduled events, and 12 in total if you include events that aren't regularly scheduled that happen to fall in that week. That was the most that I saw, and then it started to die down real quick, and now
Yeah, I
there's
think-
still like 4 or 5, but that's including more regional specific events, as opposed to completely open brackets where there's I think about 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think everybody was just a bit tournamented out.
And you've got online Evo as well. So Grand Blue is definitely a game that's more of a secondary game for most people. And we've got Evo Online that's just whacked us with ponies and skullgirls and KI everywhere,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
And good netcode. That's an advantage that they have over Grand Blue.
You literally put the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, I've been playing a lot of Them's Fighting Herd recently, which again, I highly recommend. Super fun game. But yeah, I mean, I'm playing people in Argentina on 250 ping, and it's only lagging a little bit. So,
beautiful, man. It really is.
It really, I'm really, really hoping that one good thing. I mean, we can argue whether or not big companies are going to listen, blah blah blah, to the end of the earth. But I'm hoping, hope upon hope, that one thing that we take away from this horrible global pandemic, from a hobby perspective, is that fighting game companies look at these netcodes and realize that they just need to be better. You can't, if you're living in a world where you can only play fighting games online, then you have to make sure that online's good. Otherwise, it's just going to get left behind.
I mean, if we quickly take a look at the losers bracket, we can see some of the players that have been knocked out already. We've seen Aixie. We have Aixie on Jita being knocked out, which is a shocker to me. Aixie is a phenomenal player. We have Miri on Zeta being knocked out. We have Kingston on the Sorries. Sorry to say. Knocked out. Inkiro's Lance. And then we've also seen Gumius now being taken out, so 5 down, 11 to go.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing about this sort of tournaments as well, these invitationals, that is really cool, is that obviously the tier list is in place for a reason, right? You have the top tier characters, you have the bottom tier characters, but when you have players at this skill level, the tier list almost becomes non-existent, because
especially in a game like this, where B tier is like the bottom of this game. Like, everyone is B tier or up, everyone's getting a passing grade of 80% plus.
Yeah, definitely.
It just happens that we got some, great students getting 98%, showing everyone else up.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Jita's arguably one of the best characters in the game, and Aixie's a phenomenal player. He's out, so...
Yeah. Not just Soris.
Not. Yeah, it's Soris. Do, 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 do. But we still
where
got
Rao's at. Yeah, we've got a ton of matches to go. And obviously, as the bracket goes on, things will become faster and faster. But there's no need to rush. We're an hour in.
Yeah.
We've already cleared technically, we're doing the last match of winners' quarters right now. We'll ignore the fact that it's a 16-man bracket instead of a 64-man bracket, so we haven't had the other 7-odd rounds up until this point. But we're in winners' quarters, you know? That's good progress for an hour.
Yeah, I think so. And the beautiful thing as well of these sorts of invitationals is every single match has been absolutely pure flames. Just top-level mergage.
Honestly, I feel like that's the way that it is with HAB in general most of the time. But, man, this is obviously going to be a kicker. And I want to emulate this, which is a part of what's, ingrained in the upcoming announcement for what's going to be happening with the Hearts of Blazing series going forwards. Oh, Rao's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
we
you
go.
Both hopped onto the cabs. Let's go. Let's get this match finished.
So it's 1-0 for Rao as well, for those of you who've just tuned in.
Yeah, we had a slight delay as Rao's PC froze after he kicked Zoe into oblivion.
Kicked his internet at the same time. He booted Zoe and his Wi-Fi with the Tims at the same time.
Yeah, it's so hard that his router decided to just give out.
Believe in victory.
But believe in victory. Let's see how this one goes. I believe in victory for Hiyari, man. I want to see it.
Yeah, are we going to see some counter-adaption?
Oh, wow, brilliant. Let's get the full confirm for that. Wow, manages to whiff too well under the low invuln that Universal Overhead does, but recovers in time to block it. But it somehow ended up all the way on the other side of the screen with his back to the corner, and that's all she wrote. That's literally all she wrote. You get counter hit, but oh, never mind. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Rao.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
putting us on the edge
went,
there.
You panicked mid-sentence. You were like, that's all she wrote!
Right, I panicked because of the fact that I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. The amount of damage. Right, okay, so I was expecting it to be a lot, and then he managed to fit in another 5U in there before Super. So I was like, oh, well, that's more damage than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Grand 5U, man. It's the God button. I swear to God, it's the reason why Grant has broken his ears. It works as, you know, in combos, it's a better tool than most EXs. In pressure, if you get a counter hit, it's one of the best starters in the game. It's got huge, it's absolutely huge, and the frame data on it isn't even that bad, especially when it's charged. Fully charged, it can even be plus. If you're spacing it, even at the tip, uncharged, it's ±0. But Hiyari, taking him all the way to the corner, and this time, doesn't recover in time from the spot dodge. It's hit by the dragon. You gotta know how to handle these setups, otherwise, it'll bite you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Came down too quick for Rao to do anything about it.
Yeah, getting the dive kick and now gets the throw into the corner. Doesn't have many cooldowns to play around with, and Rao takes advantage by dropping a combo and getting himself punished. Not ideal. Now going for the CP safe setup with the lightning. Doesn't have any dragon meter. You gotta... Yeah, now that he's lost the corner, this could very well be an over round. Let's get the confirm.
If you'd have seen another Gran in that situation, I won't say any names, but...
You would have seen a DP.
Yeah, you would definitely would have seen a DP there, but...
Hey man, you can all say it. My old man, let's go.
I'm not gonna put anyone on blast, man.
There's no blasting, man. Both ways are effective ways to play the character, you know? Gorilla Gran and Patient Gran. They both have their merits.
Oh, nice overhead.
There you go. 2U straight into the... Is that light boot, I believe? And then just delayed run up throw. And this time goes to the match, beating out the universal overhead, which was a hard call out from Piari. Gets punished for it.
Wow, nice challenge.
Oh, wow. Hits a close heavy into the super. And now we're at match point.
Yeah, he already sort of cracked there. I mean, he read it. He managed to mix Rao up with the Wrecker in the last game, but this time Rao was patient, let it go its whole way, and then just did a really good punish.
Nice. Blocks the universal overhead, takes his turn back by whiffing the JU, but regardless, as long as you're... Wow. Punishable boot. You don't see that very often from Rao.
Oh wow. With punishing with Dragon Punch.
Yeah, I mean, he did the dive kick, right? And then went for throw, but he'd already put him into too much block stun, so then he instantly got punished for it. Not a significant punish, but a punish nonetheless. And as long as Grant isn't under someone else's pressure, he's winning. That's the way I see it. Especially at ranges like this, where your back is to the wall. If you get hit by EX boot, you die.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a block.
Forward roll, forward roll. He's got the moves. Getting back some of that dragon meter.
Yeah, and Rao doing a good job of not running straight into that charge up from Zoe, because it's actually, she can let it rip.
He really needs to DP those dive kicks, though.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is still completely doable.
Never mind. Punishes the boot with the dragon. And now we're at the final iteration of match point. It's do or die.
Oh, wow. Tiger Knee Lightning again.
The dragon's completely off the screen at this point, though. Well, there you go. Comes back. Good dragon. DP trades with the dragon. Doesn't get a significant punish, which is great. You're out of the pressure, and now you're back to neutral, which is exactly where Graham wants to be.
Oh.
Drops the combo, but regardless, still has him exactly where he wants him. Getting hit by air lightning. Great job from PRA to take the turn back into his hands, but he sends it right back in this corner, and one more touch is going to do it. Gets shipped out. That's absurd.
He dropped the combo and still got 35%, so...
Yeah, I mean, and then it goes into a sequence with pretty much gapless pressure. Especially for a character like Zoe, who doesn't have meterless reversals. That was a rough situation to be put in. But Chiari getting sent to losers, I have no doubt that's not the last we'll see of him, though.
None. Ro moving on.
Alright, so now, if we take a quick look at the bracket, we're going to be moving on to winners semis whilst we wait for losers top 8 to catch up. But that means I can mark on the bracket that we have moved on to top 8. Get the cloud.
So top 8 is still 2 out of 3, for those of you wondering, and then it's 3 out of 5 from winners finals, so...
Yeah, I see some discussions going on in the chat, regarding it. But regardless, I believe that this is the way that things should run. Oh, one of my emotes has been removed. Oh.
Really?
What was it? It's just the GG. Wonder why that happened. I'll have to look into that.
Oh, maybe it's because people considered it to be... I mean, it's the way that you use it, right? It's like the video games, had an emote that was Shao Kahn saying "you suck," and that got taken away. So I think it's just people potentially using it in a less than sportsmanlike manner makes...
Yeah, maybe.
Even though they're perfectly... Well, "you suck" isn't innocuous, but GG is. Clearly some people take it the wrong way when they get pasted and then somebody spams them with GG emotes.
And it's just because it's called GG, bro. That's the only reason that it exists.
I didn't even see that, but...
Yeah, it's such a little GG, There's nothing harmful there. Followed by Benner's Rao. Damn. Benner's has made it really far.
I was going to say, we haven't seen him play yet, but...
We're gonna. So, obviously, this is winners top 4. So they're literally one step away from getting that top 3 spot. But Deviants versus Enoch is going to be a brilliant game. I've seen these people play before, and it did go in Enoch's favor, but every time I've seen them play in tournament, it hasn't gone particularly well. Oh, wait, what the hell? People are using my emote. What? People are using my emote, but I can't use it. What is this? I'm being scammed.
Are you logged in? Oh, you must have been, because you're saying it...
Oh, wait.
I don't know.
OBS down. Alright, well, that's weird. Either way, let's just get this back underway.
Yeah, Inek versus Deviants.
And this is a great matchup because, in my opinion, this is the best representation of why Catalina has gone down, especially in the eyes of the Japanese. It's simply because Percival is really, 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 really good at everything that Catalina wants to do, whilst having some source of his own, And speaking of, 2 touches and you're out. You don't get a bird strike. Not in Grand Blue.
That was super well played from Inek. He's just playing super clean tonight.
I mean, yeah. Inark has been on fire lately, and it's no surprise. His character has shot up the tier list, and with it, so has he. And the problem is that a lot of European players say that they have no Percival experience, but there are lots of Percivals out there, like Inark, Dai, Zero,
Citizen.
yeah, Citizen as well, yeah. You have tons of people playing the character out there, even as a, you know, it used to be a primary character. A lot of them have dropped it for their secondary character, but, damn, jobs to confirm, that would have been it. Gets low, there you go. 2L, 2L. But yeah, so there are a lot of phenomenal players playing Percival. We just don't get to see them all that often. Oh, brilliant DP.
Yeah, Whiff Punish standing heavy from Inek. Oh, I was going to say that's not safe, but not a good punish. Maybe he thought he was closer.
Nice. Doing a phenomenal job right now, playing the footsies. This is the one thing that Deviants really wanted to work on as a result. Gets bar heavy anti-air. It's really... Wow, this is gonna be... I could be dead.
I think it's going to be Magic
If
Pixel.
that was a beautiful confirm into a kill...
Yeah,
Magic Pixel, you're right.
It's because I keep calling it too early.
Ooh. Lost frames for Percival, both of them being respectful. Right now, again, you see this. Deviants is just walking back, playing patiently, looking to whip punish with that far light, but it's resulted in him with him in the corner. Percival taking his stocks, doing spot dodge to try and bait out the Deviant CP, doesn't get punished. Now it's back to the corner. Wow, weird scramble situation, but it's ended with Percival somehow with his back to the corner. Something to point out is that all of those Farlight whiffs were also attempts to bait out the SBA from Inark's Percival. Because obviously, he's trying to fake that he's throwing fireballs in an attempt to get Percival to use his SBA into the block as he recover from Farlight in time. Brilliant DP, not letting him get away with the command dash. Baits out the DP in kind, and if he had needed, that was dead. Nice. Inark saying, this is my turn.
Super well played by the Deviants in that last round. Just pure patience. You know, you really...
This is a living on it. There you go. Brilliant. Because Deviants, like we keep on saying, he's adapted in this matchup to play it in a way that he, once he has the life lead, he just plays incredibly patiently and he tries to bait out that SBA pattern. Because he's just trying to let Percival, who has brilliant tools, hang himself. And he's doing a phenomenal job at it. Not overextending at any point, getting the anti-airs and getting the DPs. Ooh. JU punishing that too, Em. Ah, there we go. Inark responding in kind of his own anti-air, though.
The X Fireball. And just another purple DP.
Yeah, all of these DPs are going through, and this is going to hurt. This isn't dead, but you get the knockdown. What's the mix? Ah, there you go. Did a fake run up throw, has the health advantage, and now you see him just walking back slowly. He's fine with giving up this positional advantage as long as he can chip him out. Is that 2-0? Damn.
Yeah, that was it.
It felt like Inark was doing a great job. But
it was, that first
Deviants,
round.
Yeah. After that, Deviants adapted, started playing slow, waited for Inark to make a mistake, and when he did a Catalina punish.
You said it, man. I mean, Inek just sort of hung himself there. He had that like massive advantage in that first game, but I think Deviants just made him crack. Just pure patience.
Now, this is going to be a really interesting match because Benners is a player that we haven't got to see yet. And everyone knows him for his Vasaraga, but he hasn't taken many events. He's been around since the start, getting consistent top 8 and top 4 placements in, you know, nearly every event. So, he's a crowd favorite. Well, I say that, but that's because of a natural bias for me. He's a crowd favorite as far as he goes with me. I always love seeing him play. Especially because he's representing a character that a lot of people, similar to Saurus, consider a bit weaker.
Yeah, I mean, he did receive a few buffs in the last patch that made it.
Yeah, a lot of nerfs though as well. He lost a lot of really, really integral roots with a lot of the changes that happened, which is, you know, it's the way that Arxist handles low tier characters. There's, you know, they'll get a buff, but it'll be, you know, they'll get a little bit of a backhand slap on the way out as well. It's never a pure... But meanwhile, then you get characters like at the top tier, like Ran, who get nerfs, but they also get buffs at the same time, you know? Arxis balance is a mystery, but at the same time, they've done a good job at making most of their games in a state where, whilst there are top tiers and low tiers, all of the characters are still playable If you're, in reality, there's an argument to be made for Sora's and Luane being a little bit less playable, but Vasaraga, he definitely has some sauce. Even after the patch, I think we've seen a couple of Vasaragas take tournaments in NA.
Yeah, there's a few New Yorkian Vasaragas that put in work. But
menacingly. Here we go. He's on the move. He's got to deal with Rao, though, who is arguably the biggest adversary anyone can face in this bracket.
Yeah, but if Benes does win this, then it puts him in
it's going to be hype.
Yeah.
We say that, but then if he wins this, he has to go against Deviants, which is, it's definitely, in this entire tournament, it's going to be a very much, out of the saucepan into the frying pan kind of deal. Especially because Catalina's another character that has historically had a very good time against Vasaraga. These characters, having access to DPs, can invalidate a lot of the stomp stuff, and they have access to EX Fireball as well, which has so many hits that it just clean beats out a lot of Vasaraga's options when he is going for those armored attacks. Sorry about that, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I changed it up. And also, it's in the wrong seat, so I just put that over real quick. But getting back into this, Rao has a health disadvantage right now, but has the position advantage, and all it takes is one touch. We've seen it. We know what happens. Taking the plus frames of the boot. And you have to remember that everything that Gran does and any of your character does against Vasaraga has effective extra plus frames against a character like Vasaraga, because their fastest options aren't as fast as a lot of the a lot of the other characters in the cast. But Ben is showing just how much he doesn't care and saying, "You can't be patient, man. We know you're the patient Gran, but if you're too patient, I'm gonna throw you."
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I think people sort of forget about when they fight a really high-level Vasaraga is he does have a command throw. So, you're sitting there blocking the pressure, and then he just hurls you full screen in his side, so...
Oh, nice. There you go. And this is getting his game plan going. And it also has to be remembered that whilst your character is low tier, there is a 0% chance that anyone has matchup experience against it.
Yeah, I mean, Rao's played a lot of games, but... has he played many Vasaragas?
Yeah.
Oh, what a punish on the boot. Just swats him straight out of the air.
Ooh, gets the command throw using the EX1 for the forward momentum, but now that's on cooldown. Nice, good frame trap. No reward, though. Really solid pressure so far. Now you're in stomps. How? What on earth did we just watch?
That was...
I'm not even gonna comment, man. I'm not even gonna comment. We're gonna just say that confirms it. There is a lack of matchup knowledge going on here.
Yeah, I mean, Ben has definitely tried to get cheeky there, I think, and because the stance does autocorrect if you jump over him, but...
Well, yeah, the follow-ups autocorrect, but the stomps themselves don't autocorrect.
Rao broke through the armor, but still ended up getting tossed across the screen.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hyped. I mean, obviously he's about to lose 50% of his health, so that's not hype. But if Benes can take this, taking a Gran into the losers bracket, that'll make my day. I don't care if Benes even ends up winning the entire tournament. It's just...
Uh-oh.
A Vasaraga player, I mean... And if you blocked it, Gran's plus. So, it's definitely not the easiest thing to deal with a Vasaraga. There aren't any, actually. There's not a single area of the screen space that Vasaraga should feel comfortable or at home against Gran, honestly. Oh, getting the mash. Yeah, nice. So basically it just means that Benes has to make the right call in pretty much every situation against a character with a DP when you don't have one of those. Go for the meaty setup, gets DP'd again. Rao's turning on the Gorilla, and this is exactly what you've got to do. Everyone knows him as the patient Gran, but he's a Gran player nonetheless, and if you're playing Gran and you're not going Gorilla, you're not utilizing his full kit. Benes looking in position to seal out this round, though.
Are we going to see a third DP out of pressure? Is he going to do 3?
Oh, never mind. It's going to get slapped. Sit down, kid. We're at match point.
Vasaraga's animations are so satisfying.
I mean, yeah, I think this character has the coolest looking SBA in the game, honestly.
With the wagon wheel.
Yeah.
Armor straight through the boot.
I'm respecting that he was a little bit too close to that 5U, using his turn, but, the thing is with Gran is that you don't really care if you get pushed out after your pressure, because then you're in position to go for boot. Get a counter hit boot, and we're going to see something like this. Which was effectively perfect.
Yeah, Rao's Oki there was just to stand menacingly over Benner's.
I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to press a slow-ass button and get counter hit by 5 of you? I don't think so.
No, he just stood menacingly over him and just had his way, but Benner's not out yet.
Ooh, Stomp whipping completely, but now he's in the corner, and this is not where you want to be. Again, Rao being patient, understanding that his pressure is going to slowly get him pushed away, but then puts himself in range for an EX boot, and all of a sudden, this round's looking nearly over.
And really well played
boot right now. We're going to see it. Yeah, punishes the spot dodge. This is going to go straight into super, and that's the round.
Well played by Rao to know what resources he has and when. You know, he could see that all of his resources were on cooldown, so he ends it in DP just in time to get boot back.
That's really like the one disadvantage about Gran, is that even with using 5U, a lot of his more optimal combos aren't loopable in the same way that a character like Cheetah or Zeta, etc. They have loopable combos that deal mad damage and put them into good Oki situations. Gran does have to... Wow. Gran does have to make a choice as to if he wants to spend and get damage, if he wants to spend and get Oki, all sorts of things like that. But EX boot, you know, all are equal under the boot.
He actually saw Benner's spot dodge there. He could smell it was coming, but just spot dodged a second too early and gets clipped.
And that's the broken thing about Gran, man. Getting the close light to finish it out. Doing a complete reversal there.
Shades of deviance there, light or throw. You know, what are you going to do? Got to run up.
I mean, I guess, like, everyone's like, it's just mids, bro. It's just mids, but those mids hurt, man. Again, your combos aren't loopable, but the pressure from throw is.
Yeah, and, you know, what's your option? You're going to throw out your SBA, and if it hits, fine. But now you've lost your SBA, and it's only a matter of time before you get put in the corner again. But well played by Bennett, though. He did a really good job to put on a show.
Now, we're going to be moving over to Losers Top 8, and we have a really interesting match. We have Europe's best Luane up against DLZ.
Padu versus DLZ. I've seen DLZ when he won the shoutouts to FG Treehouse, when he won his Shuttle Bus tournament, and his Luane is terrifying.
Yeah, he's definitely the best Luane in Europe, if we're being honest. But I don't know, man. We've seen a few HABs recently where Padu's been turning up with his Luane.
I think Luane's a weird character because I feel like he's fun to watch. Definitely, he's very frustrating to play against if the other guy knows what he's doing. But again, we've said it a few times on HABs and various other tournaments. He's the knowledge check character, isn't he? He's like, oh, so how much about this game do you actually know? And even at the absolute highest level, there are still some instances where you might think they know, but then you just see them get clipped. Like, especially when somebody like DLZ, they'll use the parry, which, you know, you can spot dodge if you just do it in neutral, but they'll just tend to use a parry on a special cancel or a jump in where it's undodgeable. So, you know, there's so many layers to a good Luane.
Quite a lot here, because obviously we've got Matera coming in with the Zephyrs, and you can get some use out of the EX parry with that. But the issue with this is that if we're saying that Luane is a knowledge check character, Padu has sat in the lab with pretty much every character in this game, and you're not going to get away with no nonsense against Padu. You're going to have to get in his head, get him frustrated, if you're going to want to hit him with pretty much anything. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, as you said as well, Padu's been playing a lot of Luane recently, so clearly he has the matchup knowledge. So we're gonna see. And then, yeah, on the other side of it, can DLZ deal with the Padu loops, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be rough. I mean, even for a character with good reversal options, you know, it's rough, so it's gonna be very, very hard for DLZ to win this situation. Because, like, a lot of what Luane wants to do is he will sit back and he will use summons and food to try and draw you close to him. I've talked about it in the past, but Matera, Zeta, characters like this, they have a lot of great anti-zoning tools. So whilst that's usually great at stopping zoners, it's also great at stopping characters like Basaraga and Percival and Lwayne, who are going for those stocks, you know, trying to get the opponents to come to them, because they're just going to throw arrows at them, and they're going to be smiling all day.
And the thing as well is that Padu has to be careful of, which I've seen DLZ do a lot, is his confirmation rate off of counter hit Catalina bot laser is absolutely insane.
But that's the thing, man. With Lwayne's, you have to be able to see the Matrix. You really do. You are playing a character that basically has one tool to get reliable conversions, which is EX Awesome Source. So you basically have to be ready to confirm off of every single stray hit that ever happens. And on top of that, you have these summons which generate some of the most awkward hits in the game, you know? Awkward, scrambly hits that you have to then confirm off of. And Lwayne players like DLZ, Padu, and Rixter even, and Yamabiko, it's phenomenal. It honestly is. It takes me by surprise every time, but you see them hit confirming from stuff that no other character, you know, no other character representative would ever be able to do. No. Everyone else would, you know, with a 2H conversion, right? Lwayne, he's seeing the lines. He's confirming off of the most vague hit in the world, like a random summon, you know?
Now we see the Padu experience goes to
also,
lockdown.
To answer your question, yeah, top 3 still, best of 5.
Oh, what a parry.
Oh, damn. It looked like Padu had already special cancelled straight into his arrow, so that's why that parry went through. Oh, that is not good. Yeah. Again, the one thing you don't want to do against HBA is jump. And I hate to break it to you, Zephyr doesn't get any special treatment here, you know?
No, and that's the thing as well, is that I think a lot of people deal with the pyramid by trying to just jump or get out the way of it, but...
Yeah, that's your natural instinct, but in reality...
If the Lwayne is patient, you're going to get clipped.
Brilliant, yeah, use the parry there, beating out the special cancel. But now with his active corner, he's got a, wow, whiff throw, so it's his turn, gets the throwing trap with the regular Awesome Source. Here come the goons. Arrow sniping out the summon, yeah. Taking all the way to the corner though. Doesn't get the confirm, doesn't have the corner carry for that. You're not Gran.
Oh, what a block.
Yeah, Padu doing a brilliant job on defense here, but though for naught if you end up dying. You hate straight into HBA.
And
nice.
That's the terrifying thing as well. If you don't have... I mean, everyone says Lwayne's one of the worst characters in the game, and they're not wrong. I know we're saying that the tier lists are quite short and etc, but if you don't have a reversal, you're holding that throw pressure in the corner until, you know, you can only block for so long.
Yeah, there are different answers to it, just using system mechanics like spot dodge, etc. Yeah. But it's not free. Even it's the same with Iggy. Once you learn Iggy and HBA and all of these things, it then becomes fighting games, because it will be players mixing up their options and their timings to beat out the opponent's options and timings, you know? So, once you learn all of the gimmicks that Lwayne has, you then have to start playing fighting games against him. Which, it turns out, all the players here are very good at playing fighting games.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew?
And it doesn't matter who you are, brilliant use of 2M to get his way out of the corner there, but you're going to have to make it count. You can see he's so hesitant to go for special cancels, at risk of Lwayne stealing his turn with EX parry. Oh, wow, jumps back, just goes straight for HPA. Oh, gets a hit as well. That was unexpected. Just let's head up. Gets back thrown into the corner. And now, tentatively just poking at him, gets the overhead instead. Padu finally getting himself on the board. Let's go.
A jump overhead, just as I was about to say it. Jump overhead.
Let's go. I mean, the thing is as well... Oh, good anti-air. Wow, he confirmed that into the knockdown. Now gets the throw, and you've got to hold the butterfly pressure in the corner. Doesn't matter if you're going for the parry when you have the butterfly on top of you.
What an answer.
Wow. Zephyr into the air-to-air. Haven't seen that before. It's going to go into supers instead. Nah, goes for the setup instead. Nice.
There we go.
Finally. The thing is that he could have actually done super there to kill. But obviously, all in hindsight, man.
See, that's the funny thing as well. You know, we're saying about Lwayne pressure in the corner. If you guys haven't seen Padu play before,
this is a desperation Yggdrasil. I mean, this is not great, especially because Matera is a character that can pretty much just throw an arrow.
Yeah. Is he going to get the punish?
There you go. Zephyr's all the way up close. That's a punish. Oh, mine doesn't get it. I think he went for a forward dash. I believe he could have punished if he just did the arrow straight away, but regardless, This is still not a situation that Wayne wants to be in. No access to supers, and goes for the throw and gets hit by the TK arrow. Padu special.
Yeah, that was an odd situation there. Paddy did a really good job. I mean, for those of you that don't know watching, the best thing you can do is try and get as close to Yggdrasil as you can when it's about to run out, because it just increases your chance of being able to punish. But Paddy just maybe buffering into the wrong option there, but still manages to take the round.
Yeah, I mean, it's the round that matters. So, Paddy putting himself back on the board. It's 1-1. Ooh, nice. Flash with far heavy from Matera, but with the butterfly active, that favors her heavily. Being hit by the throw, one more touch is going to do it. Blocks the overhead.
Oh,
Nice, gets to you. But you have to make this go a long way without getting hit by super, so it's going to be rough. One more touch is going to do it. Here comes Iggy. A bit of a panic Iggy again. Let's see if Paddy can get the punish, or if he magically dies somehow.
I think that's the thing. When you have Iggy... Oh, wow.
Oh, gets hit by Storm, so he shouldn't get a punish now. Never mind. There you go.
You were
That's
saying,
so sick. Yeah, I mean, I believe this is why we saw so much HPA in the last rounds. I genuinely believe that one of the biggest problems with this character is that he has no way to, the super dump readily. He has to do very specific routes to be able to combo into HPA, and I feel like Iggy is just never usable, like, if I'm honest, at high levels of play. So that's a real big problem for Wayne, especially because he doesn't have a reliable needless reversal. So it just means that he really, along with having only EX Awesome Source of Convergence, he really struggles to finish off that plate. And if you're put in a situation where you're behind like that, especially against a character like Matera, where you can't just sit there using summons and food, it could definitely be rough. But Padu flexing his incredible defense right now.
Patience. Not to press a single button. He just jumps out of the corner.
Nice, going for the meaty setup, baits it, and then goes for the overhead. DLC, again, flexing his defense as well.
Those
Both of them jumping out of the corner, and now calling in the goons. Gets the overhead, is that dead? No. And EX also source, that should be dead, there we go. Ultimate match point.
Maybe maybe Paddy was a bit high when he hit with the light in the corner to confirm straight into the pyramid, but still managed to...
Yeah, I don't think that he could have confirmed into, because of the hit stun that he had, I don't think that he could have confirmed into 2H into super, so unfortunate, but regardless, took the round. But now he's in the process of being perfected. Again, trying to use those summons at full screen, but Terra's fine with that, man.
Snipe him straight out.
Which is especially important because obviously, if they get hit, they're gone. They stop. That's it. Pack it up, boys. And 2 out away into the super. That isn't going to be dead, is it? No, okay. Doesn't get the full animation, but gets smashed out. We'll go for the low. Gets the universal overhead counter hit. This is the beginning of the comeback. Tries to go for a cheeky little reset and now calls in Iggy. This is do or die. And this is Wayne at its best. Getting hit by Storm. Into the unblockable setup. Into rocks. DLZ knocking Padu out of the tournament.
That was...
He choked on the one Iggy that you can't choke on, man. And that's it. Like, at the end of the day, Iggy is as bad as it can be, right? But if you get flustered and you make one mistake, that's going to create a snowball effect of you getting progressively more and more flustered. And that could be over in a heartbeat.
No, that wasn't winners finals. That was losers top 8.
This is top 8, as it says in the bracket.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's not first to 3. Why is everyone saying it's first to 3? That's losers top 8, guys. Padu getting knocked out of the tournament. DLC is going to go onwards to meet.
That's so sad, isn't it? We spent that
whole
time.
I mean, it's sad, but Wayne in the top 8 of a tournament, the top 4 of a tournament, pardon. Oh no, that's top 6. Never mind. Regardless, Wayne making it this far is absolutely awesome. I mean, it's the same with Matera. I think Matera is a really underrepresented character that is phenomenal. Padu being pretty much the only one that comes to mind as an upper echelon EU Matera, but you really can't get much better than Wayne against Percival. That's going to be such a fun match to watch.
Yeah, I mean, shout-outs to DLZ as well. He played that really well.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you're playing Wayne, sometimes you just got to bet it all on Iggy, man. You really do.
See, that's the thing. He went from... those first couple of times he called it and it seemed a bit suspicious. He sort of went... He had like a pattern like maybe rocks and then green ball and then lightning. Whereas that last one, I think he'd managed to chuck out everything at the same time. And
I mean, all it took was
And you just got clipped.
Padu getting clipped by that Storm, and that was it. Because then he eats the unblockable setup, and then you're panicking. You're panicking against Iggy, and one more hit will do it. And he got that hit, so it's unfortunate, but now we're going to get to see Charlotta versus Narmaya, which is a matchup that nobody regularly gets to see. Let alone at the quality that we're going to be seeing it as. I mean, this is the first time we're seeing Space, but if you don't know, Space is a phenomenal Dutch Charlotta player.
Oh, big jump in.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've actually got to see Space play. I've somehow missed every event that he's ever participated in. But, you know, I've been told good things.
I was going to say, you knew to put him in your tournament, and it looks like you were wise in doing so, because he has a massive life lead. And that's going to be it.
I mean, I watched, but Space has attended 2 of them, Rodo. And one of them was, one of them were recent events, and one of them was an event before. I really was around for the Dutch stuff. Regardless, taking the first round very convincingly, getting the EXCP, and now Skill's got the game in his favor. The thing is about this matchup is that both of them are incredibly quick and have lots of self-approaching tools, etc. And they both have access to DPs. So it's kind of like watching 2 gorillas absolutely duking it out.
Mauling each other.
Yeah, because it's not like Narmaya can really sit around doing fireballs like other characters can, other Shoto types can in this matchup. It's really just both of them throwing themselves at each other to see what sticks. And right now, Space is looking very good, but great challenge. Going into B-Stance, bad throw. One touch is going to do it.
Yeah,
takes
the
the
throw range
+4.
in this game is
Backs up, takes the +1. Skill is back to the corner, going for the moonsault, takes his own plus frames now. Both of them playing so carefully around DP, but EX blankable. No, regular blankable. No, it was EX blankable into EXDP. The Charlotta Classic.
Yeah.
So
throw
he's
range in
that
this
match
game
out
is
incredibly fast.
deceptively short as well, so...
Oh, there you go, takes the +1, but gets DP'd on the plus frames. I'm not going to hold this. You hold this corner real quick. There we go, that's what, like 6 EXs into Nooki?
Yeah, into Wake Up Dragon Punch.
And now you got to hold that corner. Wow, no anti-air coming out from Space there. That was a little bit sus. As a result, though, Skill back in the driver's seat. Tried to bait out the DP with the moonsault there, but doesn't quite recover in time.
Oh, nice jump.
Nice. Looked like it was going for an SBD motion, you know. Random super jump back. But the XDP straight into the corner. That's dead.
Oh,
yeah.
Why not give this character a demon flip? You know.
I mean, at the end of the day, especially if a character like Narmaya, there are definite ways to do that. You shouldn't really be letting Charlotta get away with them randomly called like that. But if you get hit, you lose 60%. So it's up to that actually. It's 70% on certain characters. But you know, so if you make that mistake once, you're gonna feel it. And Space is just taking complete control of this round so far. Getting the jump in, beating out the poor anti-air from Skill. Well, not Skill, but Narmaya, actually. Narmaya's anti-airs are a little bit lackluster. And Space is really taking the round from there, but Skill finally getting his own hit. Putting Charlotta in the corner, but, yeah, again. Charlotta, man. One of the best jumps in the game.
And Skill's out.
Yeah, Skill's out. Incredibly commanding victory from Space so far.
One of the things that always made me laugh about Charlotta when she first came out was that a lot of people didn't put her near the top tier of this game.
When she first came out, when the game first came out, that she was like considered the best character in the game, and then people started to realize that in the beta she was a bit nerfed, and then she started to progressively fall as Lancelot grew higher and higher, because everyone thought that Lancelot was somehow bottom 4 in the game on release, and then Lancelot rose, Charlotta started to fall a little bit, but she's always been a phenomenal character. All of the characters are, except for like maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotta in all those beta tournaments and pre-release tournaments won every single one, but then she did get nerfed a fair amount because she was pretty unstoppable. But she's got a lot of tools. I mean, the only thing she doesn't really have is a fireball, but she's got a parry, she's got an invincible reversal, she's got demon flip mix-ups, good range buttons, tons of damage.
I actually put the wrong pick. Whoops. It's all good.
So yeah, she's a really strong character. And you even saw that Skill took his shots when Space finally did something that was punishable. Skill punished it every single time, but you know, you're talking about getting 15% punishes instead of 30 or 40% punishes from Charlotta.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that Charlotta, if she so much as touches you, even if you block, it's not only her turn, but that turn is going to really hurt. Doesn't matter if you're blocking it and you get chipped by the exorbitant amount of pressure, or if you're getting hit and losing like 50%, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, and Skill just wasn't able to get anything started there. I mean, we saw him really try, but just got obliterated. But shout outs to him though. But he did put on a show with Narmaya.
Yeah, a character that we don't get to see very often, so.
No, not only do you not get to see very often, but definitely requires a little bit more
intentionality and awareness compared to other characters in the cast. For sure, for sure. But if there's one thing that these players aren't lacking, it is that awareness, you know? And being able to pilot their characters correctly. But fell a little bit short in the face of Charlotta, man. Evil Potato reigns supreme.
And now, a matchup that you mentioned briefly before, and now we get to see.
Yeah, this matchup's grim. For Lewin, not surprisingly.
Nice.
But this is going to be interesting. Oh, wow. The thing is, though, is that unlike... This match is going to look very different from the one with Padu. Because unlike Matera, he can get away with using summons and using food full screen. Especially because Enoch's going to be looking for situations where he can get the stocks. Obviously, if DLC throws out a summon, it'll stop that, and then he can get his food up, you know?
Yeah, Percival's Fireball goes full screen, but has quite a long startup time. So, gives DLC plenty of time to eat up.
Oh wow. That was a failed Yiki call, 100%.
Yeah.
There is no doubt in my mind that he did not just randomly eat in front of Enoch's face. You know, low-end players are disrespectful, but they're not crazy.
Well,
maybe they are, actually, for their character choice, but you know what? Low-end's sick. And you gotta believe, and this is what I was talking about, this is a matchup where it would not be uncommon to see Low-end getting off 2 supers in 1 round.
No. Because we see Percival, as you said, Percival's options are super limited from full screen.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of the stocks, but finally getting his way in, now you're in the mix. Just going for the 2L, 2L, 2L. That button's huge. Oh, yeah, you go. Getting clipped by the second bro.
Up, bro.
Yeah, we'll call him up, bro.
Yeah, I'm broing down, bro. And that was a really, apart from the Yggdrasil call, that was a really patient, well-played match from DLZ there.
Yeah, that's how the matchup's going to look, though. Because, if anything, I feel like we need to see Enoch gorilla more. Because Percival, whilst he does have brilliant far-range buttons, you know, and he has those stocks, he has reasons to stay out and to play mid-range, he also has stuff like Command Dash, Command Throw, which are just incredibly powerful tools that should not be slept on.
I haven't seen Inek do a single Command Throw yet. I don't know if maybe...
Tournament. It's a tool that should be used sparingly with Percival, but if you're not using it at all, they don't have to worry about it, right? So you got to keep them worrying, especially with stuff like Command Dash into Command Throw, stuff like that. You've really got to keep them guessing with it, but it's not going to be dead. I don't think so, right? Yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Get the laser.
The laser was hidden by the bro.
It was really risky for him to go for EX Awesome Source there as well, because assuming that, you know, Enoch did press on his turn, he could have just DP'd the, you know, special cancel, and that would have been it for DLC. But again, when you're playing Lewin, you've really sometimes just gotta believe. You just gotta throw it out there and hope that it sticks. Oh, speaking of, run up, gets the back throw. And did he just EX parry the stocks from Percival? Because the stocks does have a hitbox, but I don't think I've ever seen it EX parry.
Yeah, I have no idea, because I thought he did 2U into something. It must have been stocks.
Ah, damn, that is. That would have been hype. Apparently it was 2U,
yeah.
but regardless.
Yeah, I saw 2U, but I don't know if he managed to cancel.
Yeah. I think that it went 2U and then cancelled the 2U on block into stocks, which got DP'd. Like, that's what I thought might have happened, but... Right, but Enoch showing that, he has an understanding of exactly what you're supposed to do. Oh, SSPA. This is going to hit. Nope.
No,
But
hit it.
obviously, you can't punish that. Not, you know, most characters cannot punish that, let alone Luane. He's going to have a rough time.
Especially with
Nice.
DLZ already had all his resources on the screen, so there wasn't anything.
Oh, jump back to JL. And something that I absolutely love about Luane is how insanely fast his run speed is backwards. And Percival, using the command dash, that's what I'm saying. When you see some Gorilla Enoch.
And yeah, I mean, that's the other side of it, right? When you're playing patient, you have to. It's weird when the tempo of the match swings away from you, and yeah, Inek just at the end managing to. Yeah, somebody said trash can magic. He did steal it, but he took the tempo away from DLZ, so.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an absolute miracle and an indictment to how incredible DLZ is that he's ever had the pressure, that he's ever had the upper hand in this match, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
All positions on the screen are very rough for Dwayne in this matchup. The only thing you can do is hold an Iggy. It's the check, man. Iggy check.
Footsie tool.
Oh, there you go. You failed the Iggy check once, you failed it twice. And this is what I mean. Once you get hit once, you're gonna get hit again. It's basically a given. See what I mean? He almost converted off a random ass Catalina bot. Like, it's insane. Ooh, brilliant use of the Catalina bot laser there. Using the summons to again keep Enoch away. This is gonna be dead, right?
No.
Okay, let's go. One more touch, but we see the command dash.
Finally.
Command throw finally being thrown out. That's what we mean. You gotta keep it. Just for those clutch situations, you just gotta hold it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that there because he just hadn't used it. So, as you said, that's the perfect time to use it.
Because it's slow and, you know, stuff like that. You gotta make them forget that you have it, you know? It's genius. It's just a galaxy brain play. But speaking of, drops the conversion, but gets a reset into throw. It's not a drop, it's a reset. You got the throw, therefore it's a reset.
Yeah, American reset. We're gonna see it.
That's
nope,
dead.
Perfect.
7 golden lettered by Luane. Let's go.
I'm surprised we didn't see a dragon punch there. I was waiting for it just to get the hell off me, but
yeah, I feel like Enoch's being way too respectful right now. He should just gorilla out. Every time that he gorillas out, he wins, you know? Oh, does he get the back throw this time? You saw that in this situation before, he got the back throw. And that would have been the round right there, you know? Luane getting back thrown into the corner against Percival. That's all she wrote.
Would have just been button into light fireball, but now we see the other side of it. Oh wow, I thought that was going to be a counter hit overhead, but it wasn't.
Nice. Version into the VP. So they're going for stocks, goes for the Yoki instead. This is what I'm saying. We need to see more gorilla. This is the full screen fireball. I'm not sure if I like that. Again, just go in. Don't let him sit back there, calling in the summons, eating that food. Crush him down. He can hold this.
It loses to the laser Catalina bot as well, so
yeah.
He's just putting himself at the
there we go. EX command dash into command throw, no conversion, and now you got to deal with Iggy. Iggy check. You failed the last one. Oh, you failed this one. Again, this is all the way once, right? Oh, gets hit by rocks as well. Trying to go for the punish there. Gets punished for it almost instantly. Eating food. Spawning in the goons, getting hit by the JH, it's not over.
No, any confirm here from Inek is going to take it.
There we go. Wow. Using the auto combo to finish it out with a very awkward anti-air confirm. Enoch knocking DLZ out of the tournament. Continuing the Percival. Wow.
The Percy train.
Yeah, we'll go with the Crusade because, I don't know, he's a knight. We'll give him that. We'll give him a cool little title. But, phenomenal match, man. DLZ really held his own.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a shame that we don't get to see more of him in tournament IMO. I want to see more crazy Luane.
This is on PC, right? I think up until maybe recently, maybe he was a PS4 player. I might have completely made that up.
No. Most of the UK players, for the most part, have always been PS4 players in Grand Blue. But obviously, with the shuttle bus giving opportunity to people like DLZ, come on over to PC.
And now we have Benners.
Yeah.
Versus Space.
And this is going to be really interesting because this matchup is still really screwed up for Basaraga. But we've seen a lot of these players staring into the face of adversity and just making it happen, you know?
Well, the irony of it is that Vasaraga is the biggest character in the game, and Charlotte's the smallest character in the game. But this is actually a David and Goliath, where Vasaraga is the David. So...
And something worth mentioning, which is kind of interesting, is that while Charlotte is the shortest character canonically, her hitbox when crouching is actually bigger than a lot of other characters in the game because of the crown.
Oh, the crown.
Yeah. Like Zeta, for example, her Firelight whiffs on a lot of crouches, but at certain distances where it would whiff on certain characters, it still hits Charlotta. It's kind of wild. The biggest thing to mention about how small this character is that her horizontal hitbox, box button, is not very big, so she's liable to fall out of certain situations that other characters wouldn't be. Is never fun.
Stream Puff in chat as well just brought up that this is, in fact, a double jeopardy. Benner's put space into losers in the first round of the tournament. So now, are we going to see the run back? Because Benner's going to take it 2-0 over space.
I mean, it's really worth throwing a poll in the chat, but I'm lazy, so you guys can just speculate by yourselves.
We'll do 1 for Benner's, 2 for space.
Wow. So the situation that's really messed up about this matchup is just that Charlotta can pretty much loop her pressure with auto combo, because it's self-approaching, into her light and medium hands RPS, and there's not much that Vasaraga can do about it, as we're seeing right now. They frame trap it depending on which one you go for, and you take plus frames if you know, if it happens to block the other one with a significant amount of chip. And it's not like Vasaraga has a DP or anything that he can do to call out those gaps. He's just gotta hold it, man. Especially because his Abares are the slowest in the game. It's definitely not pretty.
No, I mean, that first round was really more or less a screenshot of how this matchup usually goes. Oh, wow.
That's happened 2 times in a row now. Fallen straight into the EX hands. Oh, nice. Great jump out. Salvador has to hold this corner now. Getting the EX shoulder charge, get the Yoki. Takes the stock into the frame trap. Counter hit. This is going to hurt. You know, instead, it looks to go to the armor again. Which is smart because Charlotte really does have problems dealing with Stomp. The only thing she can really do is DP, but if Menace calls that out with the follow-up from Stomp, it's going to be rough. But he's ended up with his back to the corner, so this could very well be the end of the round.
Yeah, I think this is it.
That's it, for sure.
Goes for the Captain Commando sword.
I mean, Vasaraga's bulky, but he's not this bulky. Space taking a very fast 1-0, but we started to see Benners turning on the heat in that last round.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of good challenges with buttons, but it just seems so oppressive, man. And there are a couple of unfortunate confirms from space.
Oh yeah, like they're falling into EX hands twice.
Yeah.
That's not pretty. The universal overhead counter hit. It's gonna hurt. Goes for the demon flip reset, and there you go. Oh, not dead. Doesn't go for the knockdown with DP either, but doesn't matter. The second golden letter's coming out. Can I just point out that at worst right now, it's 2-2, not necessarily 0-1, you know? Because Benners did put space to losers,
Yeah.
so worst case scenario is 2-2. Don't write Benners out, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being funny. Obviously, Benners is an absolute world-class player, but
Kind
the
of
way
getting
that
rolled right now.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The way that he's getting beaten out, yeah, it makes me think, what the heck did he do in that first round?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was what I was thinking when I heard that he was the one that knocked space into the losers bracket. Because this matchup is so hard. It's a David and Goliath situation where Charlotta's the freaking giant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's it.
Universal overhead counter hit. Is that dead? You're Vasaraga, so I think he lives this, but you've then got to deal with the situation after the super. No, never mind.
No.
Charlotte SSBA, as ever, taking everyone aback by how much damage it does.
That was just counter hit heavy into SSBA, so he went for the Damahe.
I mean, yeah. That SSBA is easily, like, the most damage in the game, apart from maybe Gran, etc. It's terrifying. Like, you see them get Demon Flip. They literally do Demon Flip into one heavy, into Super, and it's 70%. You're like, okay, alright, I see you. But
Yeah,
Space, moving on, knocking Benners out of the tournament. Sad to see, but that means that we now have our top 4.
Yep. So we got Deviant versus Rao in winners finals. Then we have Inek versus Space in losers semis. So
I'm getting all of these little tags mixed up in this thing. But yeah, loser semis is what we're going to go ahead and watch now. So then we can get the top 3 of the tournament. Nah, actually, never mind. We'll do winners finals. I know that people like it when there's enough of a break for the person who wins winners finals. But I also like keeping top 3 all together, you know? It's cozy.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Alright, we'll go loser semis. Great, you know? Deviants and Row, they've played enough tournaments. They've got the stamina to go. Match after match. So we're going to go ahead and Enoch going up against Space. And this match is going to be really interesting because Enoch's a very patient player. With a character that has the potential to go Unga, he usually doesn't. Whereas all Charlotta has is in. So this is going to really force Enoch to be less respectful and patient than he has been previously. Because if he does that, Charlotta is going to gain an inch and take a mile.
Yeah, it's going to be... I mean, that's the thing with Charlotta, right? Is that she plays the game against you the same. So you might have a reversal or something like that to try and get her off you, but she wants to do the same thing to everybody. She wants to get you in the corner. She wants to try and like auto shimmy you with the auto combos, or catch you pressing a button and just oppress the hell out of you. So it's just going to be Space's game plan to just try and get Inak into the corner as quickly as possible and just try and overwhelm him. But like you said, will Inak's patience undo him? Are we going to start seeing some Rago DPs or?
Yeah, so we're going to keep top 3 together, so we can have a nice little highlight for on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of
running loser semis first. You get to keep all of the top 3, which are all of the best of 5 sets together in one nice, neat little bundle.
Oh yeah, not just that though, but that's the benefit of going through winner's side. You get a break, right? If you don't want to keep playing, don't lose.
I mean, the thing is that winners, you have a big break, but I can completely understand the argument because obviously they're sitting there having a huge break for an extended period of time, and then they have to go straight into 2 matches in a row. But you know what? The losers have been sitting there running that life this entire time, so...
Yeah. Shark-infested pools. This is for our entertainment. We want them to fight and die for us. Oh wow, speaking of, right.
Yeah. Alright, Enoch going up against Space Summer. He's found himself with his back to the corner almost instantly. I've got to switch up to But somehow, Enoch has slowly but surely pushed his way out of the corner. Getting caught by a random scramble afterwards, though, and it's starting to look a little bit... Yeah, forward roll, straight into the throw. Getting the low, then a universal overhead counter hit, straight into the super as it's dead.
Yeah,
there you go. I mean, that round was incredibly scrambly. Like, we saw Space take the initiative, and then Enoch get it back, and then Space got it, for the final time. Ooh, nice conversion into the DP. Getting knocked down. Successfully baits out the DP, but doesn't punish it. And now gets hit by the universal overhead, but it wasn't a counter this time. Ooh, nice. Getting the run up into the low. Enoch going for the throw tech. Nice. This time, Demon Flip getting blocked. It's a big deal.
That's one thing that everybody's falling for as well. Is when Charlotta just dashes straight up to you, everybody just panics and then they get hit by a button. Oh wow.
That can connect. Yeah, it is. That's big damage. Chad does his BA. Now back to neutral.
I think I'm slightly ahead of you, so I'm going to let you call it, and then I'll just respond to you. Because
yeah, no worries. I mean, the second that the round's over, I'll hop on the Discord stream.
I think I'm slightly desynced.
No worries. There you go. Discord stream. I'll just quickly make sure that it's 7:20. Alright, so Enoch taking back that round. And hopefully we'll be able to have both commentators momentarily. But regardless, sorry, Enoch... No, it's not your fault. Enoch taking back the round, and now it's anyone's game. Getting the... wow, 2H doesn't get the conversion. Ends up whiffing the DP, and now he's got his back to the corner. Jumps out of the... Wow, jumps out of the throw there from Charlotta. Space being a little bit slow.
Inak's counter jump hit success rate in this tournament has been insane.
Oh, wow. Really, really weird DP connecting there. That was unexpected. First of all, getting the fireball, though.
Yeah, Space just running straight into that fireball there.
Started off with Enoch getting manhandled by this little girl, but he's done a reversal. Quite literally. And now he's starting to take the momentum of the game back into his own hands. Nice. Taking the plus frames. Charlotta just goes for the jump though. But
Nice
every single
challenge.
scramble is going in favor of Enoch right now.
Yeah, I think Space is getting a bit impatient. He's pressing a lot on hit, and he's getting counter hit into a full combo. So maybe he just needs to wind it down a little bit. But as I say that, ooh, nice wake up DP.
If that EX Blankable would have connected, that would have hurt. But now Charlotta, sitting with her back to the corner, has to deal with the mid-range pressure. Actually, first of all, just doing the deviants. Playing patiently, walking backwards, and waiting for the Charlotta to hang herself. Gets the anti-air. The anti-airs have been so on point as
I
well.
was just about to say, what a conversion on that anti-air.
There was one really weird one earlier where he got the anti-air, he converted, and then the DP just whiffed. But I think it was because he did the wrong DP. He had to commit to EX, but he tried to save it.
Yeah, sometimes if you anti-air them as well at the wrong height, it makes the hit stun a bit weird, and then they just fall out of it easily, but...
Look at these neutral jumps, man. Charlotta's not the only character with a godly jump in this match. Ooh, nice. Gets the frame trap. M-hands, boys. Ooh, good DP.
What an anti-air.
Benefit of the flash kick, you know? Doesn't matter which side you're on. Gets the forward roll into EX hands. This isn't going to be dead, but one more touch is going to do it. Runs up, goes to the lights, gets the throw. Enoch taking his turn back, but gets counter hit by the close heavy. Space clawing his way back in with a round win. But he's going to have to do better than that.
Yeah, he did a really good job to stop the momentum there, because that was looking like,
There
oh,
you go.
in it. As I say that, though,
Good button into her. A little bit of a scramble
What a
from Space, go
reaction.
for the jump and gets hit for it. I'm loving these like random jump backs as well from Enoch, because it's not like basically that jump there dodges both of the situations. It's like you dodge the throw and you dodge the scramble afterwards, because you're fine with playing neutral at full screen, but it's when you're in the corner that there are problems. Ooh, baits the DP, is that dead? Yeah,
that's
it is.
it. That is hella it.
That's the thing. It's like you see Charlotta doing low amounts of hits into super. You know the damage is coming.
Yeah, that was
Space
super
picking
well
it back
played
up.
by Space.
I mean, it relieves so much pressure from you the second that you get that win, because once they have that match, their first round won, you're basically in a situation where if you lose anything, you're out. So getting that reset there puts it back to 1-1, so even if you lose, you still have one more round in you. Ooh, nice. Getting the jump out of the far medium pressure. And getting that DP. Beautiful. Like, Enoch's jumps when they're not together have been brilliant, the neutral jumps and the jump backs, etc. But the second that he's going for these jumps up close, they've been getting punished with the DPs. Speaking of DPs, there we see another one. We're going to ignore both of the players throw attacking there, like whipping their throw. Yeah,
I was just about to say
Ignore
that the oldest mix-up in the world, whipping throws in front of somebody's face and making them try and throw you.
It happens a lot. It really does. Ooh, EX Blankable. Getting a little bit of chip, but getting hit by the fireball. This super is going to whiff. Never mind. Opting to go for JU, so gets punished. Doesn't get full punish though, as, you know, Blankable and super aren't available. Enoch living on a prayer right now, but Space doing a reversal and putting himself on a tournament point.
Yeah, it's all starting to slip away from Enoch, man. Maybe I don't know what he's starting to do wrong. Maybe it's just...
He's being a little bit more scrambly, but he's not asserting himself onto Charlotta so much as he's scrambling on defense.
Ooh, nice jump back
Situations
there,
where he
man.
just commits to DP or block, he's been getting away with it, but he's been getting counter hit by like frame traps a little bit too much for my liking.
Ironically, we're telling him to play a bit more on guard, but maybe that's what's killing him. He needs to be a little bit more calculated in the
Or
offense.
just use the safer... Wow. Never mind. Well, he's evened it up with a 7... Oh, no. Got chipped at some point, but, you know, we'll give it to him.
Yeah,
That's a
okay,
perfect.
That's a hood perfect.
Ooh, far heavy whiffs around start. Doesn't get punished, but you're underneath our pressure right now.
Oh wow, just mistimes the anti-air. Nice punish.
Yeah, Charlotta at that distance, there's no way that you're going to get away with that, especially against a fat character like Percival, who has those big buttons.
And now we're seeing Space, bit antsy, throwing out a couple of dragon punches and getting punished. What a
Beautiful
spot
spot dodge from the Clash. Ooh, gets the jump in, is that it?
there. I don't think this is gonna kill.
I don't think so either. Alright, go for the fireball, spot dodges it to put it on a little bit of extra cooldown. But Charlotta's got to try and muscle her way in through DPs, 2Hs, fireballs, and huge buttons.
The ball is 1000%
There you
in
go.
the next court here, so
It's the 2H with the curvy sword. And Enoch knocking space out of the tournament and continuing on his own.
So top 3 is Catalina, Percival, and Gran. Ironically, probably the top 3 characters in the game right
wow.
now.
Catalina's debatable, but at one point in time, each of these characters has been considered the top 1 character in the game.
I'm just gonna be right back 1 second.
No worries, man. Right, so Deviant's up against Rao. This is going to be a really interesting matchup. Because I know that this is one that Deviant's has been dreading. But yeah, a quick reminder for everyone, this is top 3 now. So as a result, we're going to be running everything as best of 5. Also, we can talk about the fact that in a character tournament, the better characters are going to win. But we've seen some great representation from characters that are considered lower tier up in the top 8. Alright, getting into it. Catalina against Gran. The first 2 characters in the game, battling it out against one another. Both of them have really interesting toolkits. But the thing is, with Grand 5U, the mid-range really doesn't even feel that favored to Catalina anymore. Especially considering that Grand's close pressure was not butchered, whereas Catalina lost hers. The advantage for Catalina is that, you've got those ridiculous confirms, but if I'm honest, you have a little bit of a faster button, a little bit less recovery. So you can control that mid-range in situations like this right now. Again, I love seeing Deviants play the way that he's playing at the moment. He's playing so patiently. That's how we've seen him in the past. But I also know that these 2 players have had a lot of experience against one another in the, very close past.
I'm back. Sorry about that, dude.
No worries, my man. You're just missing the Shotos throwing fireballs at each other.
The classic from full screen. Am I right? Yeah.
Not full screen. It's around about 3/4 screen, They've got that threat, but both of them respecting the fact that the other one could do DP and, their lunge attacks in effect.
Oh, as you said it.
Yeah, but again, they were being really respectful of each other's lunges until one of them threw it out, and then it's like, okay, the gloves are off. It's time for my one now.
I'm not gonna crack. You're gonna crack.
Deviants has absolutely won a battle by 1,000 cuts so far, putting Grau at chip point. One more touch is going to do it. There you go. DPs. And now, one more touch is going to do it. Oh, 2M whiff punish. Beautiful. What are you doing whiffing those buttons, boy?
Yeah, I know. Just fully ready. Young man reaction.
Honestly, though, Deviants' reactions with the whiff punishes and the conversions, absolutely nuts. Ooh, DP's the 5 here.
Yeah, just in case you guys are unaware, this is 3 out of 5 because it is winners finals, so slightly more adaptation opportunities available here.
Ooh. So, what Deviants was going for there is, on a counter hit M-Droid, you can actually combo off of 2M or 5M into EX-Droid. But obviously only at certain distances, and that fell a little bit short. Now, when you're back to the corner, you have to eat the ground pressure, man. Close light, close light. Goes to the plus range with the EX Fireball, but now steps back, trying to get himself into the plus range distance for that boot. But now all he's doing is standing back. We saw it with Deviants before. It's just being patient, waiting for the other player to hang themselves. And I'm pretty sure that Rao was the person who really drilled it into Deviants, that he doesn't have to play as aggressively as he had been. I feel like that's responsible for why Deviants has adapted to be so much more patient than he used to be. But Rao putting himself back on the board and evening it up.
I mean, there was a point in that match where at least for 3 game sessions, both characters just stared at each other. So it shows you how much they want to win this. You know, neither of them wants to make a silly mistake and hand the other guy 60% life lead.
About a silly mistake gets clipped by the 2U, and now we're back into mid screen.
One thing that Rao
2M counter hit.
Yeah, one thing that
all the way to the corner.
Oh,
into super. Okay.
It's not gonna kill, but
nah. But you're still in ground pressure. Wish the throw punish, but there you go. Doesn't get the mix up, you know.
Yeah. The oldest mix-up in the book.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Gran putting on his guile boots there, just throwing sonic booms.
Oh, what the hell? What a beautiful confirm, that's it! That was insane!
That was an absolutely insane challenge from Deviants.
And there you go, that's why people still play Catalina, man. You can still absolutely commit robberies. One touch is going to be 50% in situations like that with incredibly fast buttons like Faram. What a confirm from Deviants though, man. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's something he does a lot though as well, especially off 2M. He's just completely ready. Oh, no punish on the Dragon Punch.
Good whip punish from Rao there, but doesn't get anything significant off of it. Mashes after the plus frames from the boot. Gets the mash, but doesn't have any EXs to convert off of it. Doesn't want to spend that DP, you know?
No, not yet. Because then, if you don't use it, then there's always the threat of it, right? And the other guy has to be a bit more wary when they're doing their offense.
Oh my god, walks backwards, gets the plus frames with the EX boot, and now it's a matter of time. Tapping that 5U, trying to bait out a button, because the second he gets that 5U counter hit, you know, it doesn't matter if Deviants is 50% health or 10% health. You get hit by 5U counter hit, you die.
And that is one thing that Rao does really, really, really well. Is the 5U mix-ups. They're just so mad. He holds
I mean,
for a
yeah,
second.
it's because the reward on that thing is absolutely absurd, and it's such a huge button, and you even have the option to just charge that and make that button scarier and scarier and scarier. But even at its least scary, at the ranges where he's using it, it's spaced so that it's plus and minus 0. You're neutral on block. So
Yeah,
the risk reward of pressing against ground and mid range is, you know, I don't want to be Deviants, is all I'm saying.
Oh.
2M, counter hit,
Speaking of,
into RM, into the death. Rao's got a little bit of a way to go, but evening it up now. Back to 1-1.
And that's the thing, I think whilst Catalina has the advantage in the range, I think in terms of, I know both of these characters can be quite explosive in terms of damage, but Gran definitely has the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we say that she has the advantage in range, but 5U actually outranges most of Catalina's stuff and has priority over it, so it's more of the fact that her buttons in that mid-range are so much faster, and they pull themselves in faster, so they're harder to whip punish. It allows her to really control that space
oh, no.
in a way that no other character can, but, you know, Rao's got his, got some tricks of his own up his own sleeve, you know? These characters, you know, everyone says they're very similar, but
No.
you get hit by 1 5U and then you get hit by 3 more inside of the same combo. I mean, I think that's the perfect way to compare these two characters and why Gran is where he is. Ignoring the fact that Catalina lost a lot of close range pressure, let's compare the characters' 5Us real quick and how useful they are.
Yeah, I mean...
That's all that needs to be said. Yeah, this is not looking beautiful. Straight into the super, gonna get the knockdown. Has the DP available to both players. Let's see if Deviants is still around.
Yeah, Patience from Deviants doesn't want to throw the game away, but he's going to have a big hill to climb.
Oh, wow. EX boot plus frames. Yeah, but in fairness, it looked kind of like that wasn't plus. And on top of that, there's obviously DP mind games coming into it as well.
I guess, I mean, I feel like at this point you're betting that Rao isn't going to have the presence of mind to click a button after the plus frames. Why would you risk it when if you're on that little life? Oh wow, big punish.
The thing is, as well, that we need to realise is that Rao hasn't been forced to go for throw a single time. He's just been able to walk back into that mid-range and then go for the situations after plus frames. Deviants is definitely struggling right now.
Battle 2. Engage.
Yeah, one more round. Rao can take this into Grand Finals.
That's the funny thing as well, with the difference between the top tier and the lower tiers, right? We saw Deviants with 2 Dragon Punches against skills, and it took off 70%, 80%. You whiff 2 Dragon Punches against Gran, and you are dead. That is not that is not a 50-50, that is death.
Oh, damn. That droid's coming out. I feel like Deviants isn't playing the same game that he was playing in the first rounds, where he was commanding space with those fireballs and forcing Rao to be a little bit out of his comfort zone, going for death by 1,000 cuts. Now he's more or less just going for you know, those big hit confirms. Go for those counter hits, you know?
The patient
Oh, right
deviance
there.
from the first round.
Yeah, it's gone. He's getting a little bit flustered. Throwing out that EX Fireball, so now, you know, Rose is completely free to just run his way in. Ah, that's not good. That's not dead, but knocked down.
Are we going to see a wake-up Dragon Punch? Nope.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
Get the
nice
2M
confirm.
because he recognized that Rao was being a little bit too respectful on his wake-up. If he confirmed his super off of that 2M, he would have been an absolute god, but goes for the EX Fireball, gets spot dodged, goes to the droid and dies. Ro, moving on to Grand Finals.
That was just... I mean, kudos to Ro, obviously, for playing really well, but Deviants definitely did most of the work for him, I think, in that match. There were so many droids that were just getting clipped by Fireball, clipped by buttons, you know. He was pressing after plus frames a lot. I think that's definitely... that was definitely Deviants' games to lose, but well played to him to get that far as well.
No, no, we're about to see the other top 2 character, Gran and Percival.
Yeah, so
I'm going to
this
quickly
is-
update this bracket because no one else has. Rao won that match. Space won this match. Enoch won this match. And now it's to be determined which person wins this one.
Yeah, and that's 3 out of 5 as well.
Yeah,
So
this is 3 out of 5 as well, yeah.
Do we see this? Yeah, so this is another double jeopardy because Deviants was the one that put Inak in losers. So
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean... Oh, nice! Gets the Universal Event counter hit. Into the super. That shouldn't kill, right? It's going to be on the
No,
Magic
it's not gonna
Pixel,
kill.
right?
yeah, right.
No, didn't think so.
Oh,
That's the
wow.
thing. I'm like, come on, you got to give him a bone, right? But Catalina damage. If there's one thing Catalina's good at, it's closing out those rounds.
If there's one thing that Deviants is good at, is getting counter hit universal overheads.
Yeah, I mean, we saw at the start of the tournament the new Deviants, right? His new game plans, the patient Deviants. But now, I feel like we're seeing a lot more of the classic Deviants, the very aggressive, very assertive, but not... like, he's still intentional, if you know what I mean. He's still intentional, he's still very aware of all the situations, but he constantly gives you no time to think, and that type of playstyle is especially effective against a player like Enoch, who is very patient, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is as well is that Deviants is young, right? And even though he's been like blazing a trail these last few weeks, this is where the mental stamina starts to kick in as well, because you've been playing for a long time. You're waiting to play for a little while. Can you keep that mental fortitude up so that you don't?
Yeah, you gotta
crack
keep the
and start
momentum going, you know?
crazy?
He did a lot of good work to get into winners finals, but if you don't keep that momentum up, you can very quickly see the momentum shift in the other direction. But speaking of, Enoch putting his own little notch into the ladder.
Yeah, 1 round apiece.
Alright, lots of fireballs being thrown out here. Not getting punished for the droid. Bad DP. It's gonna hurt. That's also gonna go for the stocks. And now you're sitting at a range where you're really gonna be afraid to do anything, but Deviants knows the exact
wow.
answer. He's been in the lab, you know? He's been practicing against these Percivals.
Yeah, Percival's fireball is weird. Obviously, it's multi-hitting, but it doesn't tend to clash, so that's why that was such a good chance.
Yeah, hitbox, hurtboxes don't tend to collide because obviously it's so low to the ground. Nice conversion into super, but with only DP at your call, you're probably going to back up here instead of going for a mix-up.
Are you? I think he's going to do dash up throw.
You were right, but it's not going to work out. Gets the block off, and again, you can't punish that.
No.
I believe he actually could have, I'm not going to lie, but I think he did the dash for a little bit too long. I'm pretty sure with Percival having his back to the corner there, he could have actually punished with walk forwards into close heavy.
No confirm on the 2M, but managed to get it
Deviants.
again anyway.
Taking the first match. That's the thing as well, right? You're like, okay, you didn't get the confirm of the 2M, but that thing's fast. Nothing to stop you from just going for it again. Great
just
EP
go
on the
for it again.
fireball. Oh, nice. Good anti with the auto combo. You don't see that very often.
No, he's done it a couple of times with Percival. Maybe it's just a character knowledge thing. He knows that he can anti with the auto combo, but
I mean, 2H has always been a little bit unwieldy for Percival.
Yeah,
He has an amazing
art.
DP. Yeah, and it's a little bit slow. It's not that as slow as it used to be, but it's still a little bit slow, especially when compared to characters like Catalina with their 9 and 8 frame.
Battle 2.
2Hs.
Engage.
But Percival is taking complete command of the game at the moment. I said earlier that in certain matchups like this, where the opponent is, you know, more aggressive, you've really got to be ready to turn on that guerrilla mode with Percival. And we really saw Enak switching that on over the past couple rounds.
Oh yeah, the names are swapped on
That's swapped out.
Yeah.
It's all good. Why would people sit on the right seats? Am I right? Wow, brilliant DP on the command dash. And you see him again going for that situation where he's whiffing Firelight, constantly trying to bait out that SBA from Enoch. But as much as Enoch, wow, is that gonna? Nah, never mind, no conversion. But as much as we've seen Deviants doing it, we have not seen Enoch be baited a single time with the SBA.
No, Inak only throws it out when he thinks he's gonna hit. Otherwise,
Ooh, you gotta watch your toes.
yeah, clips the feet. I mean, there's no reason not to block that low, because even though he's got that overhead looking move, it's not an overhead, it's just plus, so
Believe in victory.
maybe he was expecting a cancel into something and he's looking for the Dragon Punch, but just gets his feet side out from under him.
And it's also worth mentioning that all of these players have secured themselves a little bit of money. Now it's a contest of fighting for who it is that's going to take the big bucks.
That's trade. And it's not too late, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let me do the command. If you want to add to the match arena pool, you can.
Nice. Great fireball, but great DP in response.
Oh wow. Devens has done that a couple of times, just sprinted full screen straight into a button.
Oh, good confirm. Counter hit, 2M. Into that, it's going to be baited as well. Does he get the forward roll? He does! Beautiful, one hit confirm into the super.
We just said he doesn't get baited as well, and then...
Yeah, but that's the SSBA. I said SBA, so I didn't technically curse him this time, alright? Oh, nice. Beautiful jump to beat that DP there. You don't see that very often. Into the delay throw. Into the delay mash. Into the throw.
This is the Deviant special.
Hey, it's all mids, man.
Pass frames.
Oh, if that fire heavy didn't connect and he got hit by EX right there, that was a dead Percival. Nice, good DP. And baits the DP in response, and that should be it. Beautiful stuff, Deviants. Inching out another lead.
Yeah, 2-1. Looking like he wants to fight Wow as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he wants that run back, but Hinak also similarly wants that run back. So let's see what it's got in store. Good 2H.
Ooh, just
Hitting a little bit late, yeah. Getting the command dashes. Controlling a lot of space really well right now. Predicts no DP. Takes his turn. Lots of neutral jumps going on right now, but, you know, when you're landing on fireballs, it's very low risk for Deviants to just throw them out of that range.
Yeah, he's definitely going to win the fireball war if they start playing it from that range. Oh, unless he gets hit by Stand Heavy.
Oh, wow. The forward roll has ended up with him gaining positional advantage, but you are sorely lacking in the health department.
I mean, this isn't undoable, though. One counter hit and then one more. Oh, never mind.
2U silences you.
Yeah.
Battle 2.
Clip straight confirm into the command dash C.
Nice. Good confirm.
Another really good jump.
Now he stocks. And there you go. That's the problem. You can't just anti-air. First of all, free. That JU, man. Have some of the best jump-ins in the game and a way to alter air movement. It's nasty.
Oh, now we're seeing traditional. Wow, what a check.
Nice. Baits out the DP. It's going to be a significant amount of damage into a knockdown. Let's see what he does. I'm predicting late mash.
Let's see. Ooh,
Oh, nice. That's dead.
Wow, what did Inak press?
It doesn't matter. Even if he didn't press anything, you know, he would have gotten killed without the count hit, you know?
No, I know, but what was he doing in neutral just to get hit by it?
Oh, I believe he was probably going for a fireball, if we're honest.
Oh, okay.
Or a jump. It wouldn't surprise me if he was going for a jump. But regardless, Deviants looks well on his way to go perfect here. Super is available. Goes for the jump. Blocks the DP. That's not a perfect because, you know, you got chipped by the DP, but it effectively is. Great showing by Enoch, knocking out a ton of amazing players, but Deviant, his will for the run back was stronger. And he's going to get it.
Yeah, super well played by Enoch. Put on a show. I mean, that's what the purpose of this exhibition is, right? It's not just to entertain everybody, but to also show you what is amongst the highest level of player for these characters. So, you know, you had Enoch come on, arguably one of the, well, not arguably one of the best, definitely one of the best Percivals in Europe, and he showed that tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a great platform for all of these players to be able to show off their skills that they've accrued over the past few months with the game. It's been a ton of fun, though, to have everyone around. So this is kind of a celebration for me of all of the online events that I've had so far, and giving a platform to represent all of the players at the peak, playing with something online.
And now we're seeing Gran versus Catalina finals. I must admit, I didn't expect this, but
I kind of did. I'm not gonna lie. I love my boy. If Deviant takes this, I could not be happier. His first win would be in COT. I've been gassing him up in the DMs, man. I've been telling him, you want that winner's role? You gotta win COT, man.
this is going to be a steep hill to climb, because he doesn't just have to win 1 3 out of 5. He has to win one, then he has to win another one. So
not to mention his health pool right now.
yeah, and this is where Rao's showing his patience, unlike a lot of other Grands. He's just happy to down back from 3/4 screen and just hold on to that life lead.
I mean, yeah, the clock's running down, and that's exactly what you want as Gran.
Yeah, we haven't seen a single timeout yet, but
yeah, I mean, we don't see them very much in Grand League, you know? 2
No,
touches and
especially
you're out equals not a lot of timeouts.
no, especially with the Grand, but
Every single fireball slowly accruing more and more chip damage. Forward roll into
wow.
throw. You're not Venom.
yeah, come on, throw, yeah. Oh, misses punish.
Nice. Gets a throw punish instead.
Yeah,
X fireball. You really cannot take many more fireballs. Going for the far medium there was incredibly risky, but wow, is that it? Oh my god! How many times are you gonna do this to us, Deviants? Playing an incredibly patient game, but the second you need to flip that switch, he flips it and it works out. The X-Roy stealing the round.
That was a weird choice by Rao as well at the end there. He cancelled it into
He was being so patient, you know?
Yeah.
He knew the game plan. He ran it down to the single digits on the clock. And then he tweaked. Deviants was slowly but surely pushing Rao further and further towards the corner. And then gets hit by the X-Roy. That's the one thing you don't want to have to happen.
I mean, you can't even feel sorry for Rao because he does it with boots, you know? It's just a different move. It's the same thing with a different move.
Except it's not as plus.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Oh, getting counter here, that's dead.
That's
I mean,
dead.
Rao was showing us that he can play slow, and then this round he's showing off that he can also play fast. Deviant's cracking under the pressure.
I mean, I think that's just going to be the name of the game, right? Both players feeling each other out until they smell blood, and then they're just going to dash in with their gap closing move, and then both can just delete the other one. Oh, what a parry!
Yeah, again, when you compare these characters' 5 views, Gran definitely comes out on top, but Deviant's showing off, you know? Ooh. I can use mine too. He's using every tool, like every gimmicky tool in the toolkit right now. Charge Destroy, 5U, you name it. Ooh, nice.
Wow.
What a confirm off the EX Fireball. Doesn't mind. Drops it, but the confirm was nice. Into the super. The amount of counter hit to him has been getting, wow, it's alive.
Too far away.
Living on a prayer. You're going to need a miracle to steal this one. You're now at chip point.
Yeah, you can't.
There you go.
Yeah. You can't do normal into special move to chip because normals don't chip, so Rao just had to be patient there and throw a fireball. Because he could take another hit. It wouldn't have killed him even if he got counter hit there, but...
Hey man, coming from a Percival player, I don't want to hear wall bounces are a mistake. First of all, doesn't need a wall bounce.
Yeah, true. Not a single gosh darn one.
Nice. The really interesting use of the 5U here to try and beat out the regular fireballs or buttons from Gran. It's like, whilst I bring up the fact that 5U is a really cumbersome tool for Catalina compared to something like Gran, where it doesn't have as many practical uses as Gran's does. Weirdly, this is one of the matchups where it does have a very real use, which is to try and win out the fireball game.
I love how both players are just happy to sit 3 character lengths away from each other and not do anything because they don't want to make a mistake. Oh, too far away for the wall bounce.
Nice, good pressure sequence from Deviants there. Using the swap dodge to try and beat out the DP. Ooh, uh-oh, that's not great. Yeah, plus frames into the 2M.
Yeah, and we saw Deviants press a lot after plus frames in winners finals and got clipped every time, so...
It's getting clipped again, but Rao didn't confirm with the counter hit this time. It's the only reason we see this interesting fireball war in front of us, you know?
Yeah, which is strange because this is not how the first game between them played out.
Damn. The first round played out like this, but now we're back down to single digits. You're gonna have to go in, Deviants. Oh, okay.
What a
Spot dodge. You've got to get that health lead, though. Nah, there you go. GP to end it out.
The first time out.
The first time out of the tournament.
The shades of Sumpfauger, but it was the Grand that won, not the Catalina.
Hey man, I've seen Subfalg lose a lot of timeouts as well, but that's the game you play. Especially against really explosive characters like Gran and Catalina. When you're going for timeouts, it is a risky game. One mistake and you're out of there.
We still, even though he's still got the round lead, we still see Rao just not asserting himself, not willing to take a risk. You know, he knows that he's got that advantage in the fireball game just from the way he's playing it, so he doesn't have to risk anything.
The thing is that Catalina's fireball is a little bit quicker. Obviously, Gran has the option to go for medium fireball, which will absorb a hit on the initial part of the fireball and the fireball itself. So that's how Gran can edge out these fireball wars.
That's 2U. Into fireball.
Into fireball, and every single one of these that connects on block is gonna accrue a slight amount of chip. You gotta watch your toes. Now you're in the loop. Nice!
Oh wow, grab the button.
Yeah, brilliant sequences and pressure coming out from Deviant so far, but getting hit by the 2U into the special cancel, counter hit 2M. That's it.
Dang. And 2-0 to Row.
Yeah, putting himself to tournament point. Now you're really on the edge of despair. You're on you're on a cliff's face, holding on by a single finger, and Gran turns up.
You start stepping on them one by one.
Using them boots.
Yeah, stepping on them with the Tims. I mean, I think Deviants just has to try and play a bit more aggressively here. I respect the attempt
there you go,
to play
finally.
patiently.
Deviant pulled out Rao that time because, again, he wasn't at range where the EX boot was close enough. Obviously, at that point, you're then just playing into DP RPS. So it's terrifying, man, no matter what Gran does. Yeah, there you go, beautiful. Something that's really important to mention is that Gran 2U low profiles Catalina Fireball. So at certain distances where 2U will connect, it's really, really scary.
Just break dances underneath the fireball. And can
why not, you know? Yeah, you can confirm it straight into SSBA, EX Fireball, EX Boot, you know, regular boot even. You name it, man.
Oh, wow. And we're seeing Row on a masterclass here with those fireball spacings. He's playing footsies with the fireballs, and Deviants is just running straight into them.
Oh, nice. That's the game you're playing. The risk. Nice. Throw loops. One more touch is going to do it. There you go.
Oh,
Deviant's throwing him to death. Yeah, again, Deviant's, he's unfazed, man. I love it. He could get 3 DPs blocked, you know? 3 DPs blocked, goes for a 4th.
That's what I want to see. I think that's what's going to at least get him the reset, is just playing a bit more aggro instead of... Because he's not winning these defensive battles. We can see Rao's patience. You
say that, but if he goes super aggressive and Rao gets a single DP, it can be all over. You're putting all your eggs in the, I hope I guess right, basket. Whereas Catalina does have the tools to play a more deliberate game against Rao. It's clear that, again, at this point in time, you're better off playing towards the player matchup and not the character matchup. because Deviant turns on his aggression, and Ro crumbles. Deviant's putting himself back on the board.
That's what I mean, though. That match was literally the prime example of what I wanted Deviants to do. You know, he's not winning the defense patience game. Be patient. Obviously, I'm not saying just go full.
Yeah,
like,
full gorilla.
insanity.
Don't go Mile Man.
Yeah, I
never go full Mile Man. That's fine. Mile Man loves it. Mile Man knows he's a gorilla, and he's all in for it, man.
Yeah,
it makes him one of the most entertaining players for sure.
But yeah, he just needs to turn up the aggression.
But again, you turn up the aggression, you guess wrong, this is what happens. So not only do you have to turn up the aggression, you have to turn up the aggression in a way that results in you not being killed.
Yeah,
you gotta go half gorilla. Yeah.
Nice challenge.
Oh, wow, interesting. Slight positional advantage in favor of Deviant so far, as well as the health lead. If this goes to a timeout... Oh, nice. Good block. Gets the punish, but doesn't convert it into anything.
Yeah, now we see Deviant's playing patient again. He does have a slight advantage here, so...
Yeah, there's no need to press it, you know? Forward roll into throw. Wow. I guess Deviant is Venom. Blocks. Gets the punish. This isn't going to be dead, is it? It very well might be. That's dead.
Watch the anime.
Carolina rounds, man. Let's go, Deviants.
Holy crap, man. 50%.
50% off a single counter hit. What's that?
Yeah. Bro, I play Sorets.
Yeah, no, fair enough. As a Sorets player, fair enough. You get to complain.
Oh, speaking of... Oh, too high to connect for 5U.
Oh, nice. 2M, 2M. Gets the counter hit with the far heavy. Far beneath pardon. Now, Rao. Completely asserting himself. This is tournament point.
He's gone purple. Oh, went for the big swing.
That's dead. Oh. What a fitting way for this tournament to end. The X-Boot takes him to the wall.
Like that, bro.
And you're not the only one with that 40% corner combo into 50% damage. Rao. Taking over the tournament. Deviants, great showing, man.
Yeah, Deviant played super well.
What a great tournament, man. Every single match was incredibly close. Even the ones with lower tier characters, we saw a huge amount of representation of characters that are considered a little bit more fringe in the top 8, which is exactly what I was hoping to see. Shoutouts to everyone who took part in the tournament, and for Sodium Jim for joining me on commentary.
It's my pleasure, brother. Thank you for having me. And thank you for putting on a show. Honestly, that was so fun.
Yeah, I love it, man. And there'll be more stuff like this coming in the future, more interesting events as opposed to just the regular weekly stuff. But Hearts of Blazing will be taking a short break whilst we get all of that stuff, ready to go. And as, brilliant as it can be. But none of this would have been possible without the attendees or the people who watch. So huge shout outs to all of the attendees, all of the people who, didn't quite make it even onto stream. You're phenomenal players and that's why you got invited. Congratulations to Rao for taking the tournament, and with it, at least £125 worth of winnings. If you guys contact me, I'll sort out top 3 winnings just after this event. So again, shoutouts to everyone. If you enjoy this sort of thing, be sure to follow the stream, follow Sodium Jim and myself on Twitter, join Hearts of Blazing, and just, keep it up, man. Each and every one of you are the reasons why these events are possible and so enjoyable, so you're all loved and appreciated. And we'll speak to you again soon.
Yep, take care, guys.